What's up, guys? Welcome back to the BLF podcast. Couple things real quick. One of our episodes that we had just recently filmed, uh, we were talking about TikTok a little bit and how it was banned. And at the time, it was going to get banned. It did get banned 14 hours. It's kind of funny. After
Yeah,
14 hours, it gets
yeah.
reinstated. That to me was hilarious. I was like, wow, the American people stand up for an app. But just wanted to let you guys know about that one. That is probably whenever we upload that episode, that just disregard that information in general as far as like it being banned. But that's
Well,
pretty much
technically,
it.
it was banned for
It
14
was
hours.
it was banned, but here we are with TikTok. Speaking of
Well,
which,
it was kind of funny that they did it early too, and
like
then
at nighttime too, like when everyone was sleeping, they're like they won't know.
uh, that's
We knew,
crazy.
but you know what's funny? Actually, real quick on that, I went on eBay because I know like the whole thing with Flappy Bird came out, like the when Flappy Bird back in the day was banned on all stores on Apple Store, people were selling iPhones with the game on it. So I
Really?
was like, I wonder, right? Because you can't re-download TikTok. If it's not on your phone, you can't re-download it. Even today. I went on eBay and they're selling phones for 2,000 all the way up to like 10K with phones that are unlocked, paid for, and
And have
have
the
TikTok
TikTok
on it.
jobs. Wow.
And I was thinking to myself, I just recently traded up and got an iPhone 16. My 14, I'm not going to be using. I might do that.
Wow.
I might do that. Just
Yeah, but there's a way. There's a there is a way around it that you could do on an iPhone even without jailbreaking it, because
yeah, but people aren't that smart.
well, it's pretty simple. I mean, because I did it with show that I used to watch a lot. I'm sure you know who it is, Infowars. And
Oh
then
yeah,
Apple banned his app off of Apple, and there's a way to put it on your phone without not be able to have his app. But I'm sure the same way, same principle, you can do the same way. Ain't that bad.
no,
But it was kind of funny that it didn't even last that long. Um,
14
and it's
hours.
still out of the woods yet. They still got to go through some things. It's just temporary lifted for now, but we'll see.
That also goes with like the ban of everything else too, because it's not just TikTok too. It's a lot of like companies that are owned by the same company, and ByteDance owns a lot of companies, including video games and stuff like that, which is like concerning, right? Because I get it to a degree where they're just like, oh, it's America, we want to have profit and somehow whatever or whatnot, but also when a lot of people are using these applications and games and software and stuff like that, and you're just really like, no, we want money for it. You guys can't use it unless we own it. I think it's kind of stupid to a degree because they're taking freedom for Americans and then saying, oh, we're actually trying to help you when in reality, is it?
No, it's not actual freedom. Freedom is an illusion
It is.
because you should be able to have your choice.
Hmm.
Um, not to bring religion into it, but God gives us the ultimate free
Mm-hmm.
choice. He doesn't force us on us. We have the choice to believe him or not.
Let's say, for instance, right, these applications, but I doubt that they do. I'm going to be honest with you. I doubt they do. I don't think that just because they take people's information in quotation that people should be limited to not being able to use them because let's be honest here. Do you really think that a Chinese spy is going to look at someone playing a fucking video game that's owned by a Chinese company and then being like, "You know what? What's this kid doing playing Fortnite? Let's grab his data. He might be important and this might be able to help us destroy America." It's not very realistic, is it? Or
No,
someone
it's
watching
not.
cat videos on
I
TikTok.
mean,
It's kind of dumb. But
doesn't
either
matter
way,
where it doesn't matter where you go. Your data is exposed. I
no,
mean,
exactly.
Facebook does it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but they're okay though.
They're fine because a lot of the government officials actually have shares in Meta stock.
And I'm
They don't talk about that though.
no, and I'm sure Apple spies too, because Siri does it all the time. I'll be talking, and all of a sudden I watch and Siri's answers, and I didn't say anything to her.
You talking about conspiracy theories. She's like, sorry, I didn't understand that. Say that one more time. You're like, "Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Uh"
I didn't even say, "Hey Siri," I didn't even say anything. What are you doing?
They wanna know what you're thinking at all times. No, but I think that aspect of it is really stupid. Even if it is a spy software, people should have the liberty of
But you
choosing
know
whether
what?
they
The
wanna
most
use
of
it or
the
not.
reason why they want this information,
There's control.
no, it's not really control. It's to sell you things.
That's true. TikTok is really good at doing that, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
You be
like
going through your search history and stuff like that, all the
you,
videos you
you
watch,
wa-
and they're just like, "Hey, you should buy this." I'm like, "Damn, I really should."
I know. Well, because a lot of people don't watch TV, like regular TV anymore, and that's how they get you on those apps. I mean, I noticed this. I would say today I was watching something that actually had commercials on it.
That's crazy.
Um, and because it's free, and of course they got to put commercials on because that's how they get paid. Uh, and it was some of the stuff that they were trying to sell, like those infomercials, like what's that Flex
Flex Seal?
Seal? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Flex
Flex Seal,
Seal.
something like
I
that.
love
Like,
those commercials, though.
yeah, I mean they're good, but they had that's what I'm saying. They had some products that like I don't even remember what they were because it was so stupid. It's like, oh, you're gonna need this, and it's only 19.95, and you're like,
Yeah, but don't you
and
wish
most
that we
people be
still
like,
had that, though? Like, we still had that today? Like, those type of ads I live for. Like, those ads were funny. Even if no one bought them, they were worth it because they were funny. Like, they were so stupid that you're like, "Who's buying that?" But it's so funny. Like, today's ads is, like, just catered to, like, like, normal uses and stuff like that. Like, back then, to be like, "For only 19.95, but wait, there's more. Order now and you get a free" like,
yeah, for yeah.
that stuff was funny. Like,
They
Sham
still
Wow
have,
back in the day.
yeah,
You
but
remember that?
yeah, I
That
know,
was
but
great.
yeah, but they still have them. It's just
Oh,
that,
they have them, but then you don't see them much. You're not going on YouTube, right, and watching a YouTube video and then seeing, like, an ad about, like, ShamWow or anything like that. You won't see that today.
no,
I think one of my favorite ads back in the day, I don't know if you know what about it, but it was on the TV all the time. Fushigi.
Fushigi. That sounds familiar.
It was really stupid. It was, like, catered to kids, but it was, like, this, like, metal ball that's, like, defies gravity, and you, like, see the commercial, people playing with it and shit, and they're like, "Fushigi." I always loved that commercial because it's so stupid. I'm like, who really thinks, like, yeah, that ball defies gravity, but we can't we can't travel space, but they're like, "That ball definitely defies gravity." I
So whatever they
That's
get some
funny.
of the people to buy things. I mean, it's like, oh, I gotta have that. I need that.
I
No, you
never knew I
don't.
needed that in my life. No, you don't. You really don't.
Well,
You
they
really
kind of
don't.
have those commercials on, not commercials, but they try and sell products like that on TikTok a lot.
But I see a lot of the products on TikTok, though, like, I can see why people would buy them, though. Like, some of them are, like, kinda like, that's pretty cool." Like, there's one the one in specific, there's, like, hand massagers, there's, like, knee massagers and stuff that you can buy on there that's pretty cheap that work. I put that in quotes because I don't know for myself, but apparently people were buying them, and they work just fine. So, I mean, I guess if it works, fine, go for it. Me personally, I know better than that to be like, "Nah, that's too good to be true. I'm not gonna."
I mean, some of the stuff's probably good, some of it ain't. But that's how it is. It was
Mhm.
like that on TV too, and that's why I think TikTok is a good thing because there's some people that actually make a living,
Yeah.
selling stuff like that, little cheap products and
Yeah.
stuff, and it
Like,
adds
it's good
up.
for entrepreneurs, really.
Yeah,
Like
I
people who
mean,
are out there like,
and
"Hey, look at this."
instead of having a solution saying, "Oh, let's just deband it," well, okay, work with them and say, "Hey, this has got to be set this way," or that's it.
Yeah.
And Trump's actually made a deal with them, and he's saying that's what the deal is going to be. I mean, they're going to be worthless if they get banned, and if they want to stay here, they can make a lot of money, and then at the same time, they could fund, the United States for things that we need instead
Mhm.
of us, the taxpayers, paying it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's all it's to it. It's a win-win. Everybody gets something.
Speaking of entrepreneurs on TikTok, I seen one thing and I was just like, "Why did nobody think about this?" I'm sure everybody has, but no one's, like, implemented it. There was, like, it was hangers,
Hangers. What do you mean?
like,
Hangers for
for
clothes.
clothes.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. This is kinda cool because I looked at it and I was like, "This person's a genius." Well, not really because everyone probably thought about it at some point, just never done it. The hanger, you put the clothes on there, right? Your shirt, normal hanger, you put the clothes on there, you
Mhm.
fold it, and you put it in the closet. Because when the hanger, you put it in the closet and it, like, hits the wall, you just
Mhm.
close it, and then it just doesn't hit the wall, and it's a
Mhm.
lot tighter space, and you can fit more clothes on the rack. It's like some girl that did it. She was like, "Yeah, I was just tired of this, and I just like made it and then posted it on TikTok or something like that."
What do you mean? I don't
What do you mean?
understand. What do you don't hit the wall? What do you mean?
So you know the hanger, how it's shaped, right?
Mhm.
You put it in the closet and then it hits the wall. Like the one side hits the wall. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, a
This is the
hanger's like
hanger.
this.
Yeah,
Goes
this is
in
the
this
hanger,
way.
and it goes like this way, right? Like
Uh-huh.
it goes like it's like side, and then this part is hitting the wall. So to mitigate that, it just folds.
Oh, yeah,
So the
okay, so
t-shirt also folds too, or the pants also folds as well. So not only is there more room, it's not hitting the wall.
that's actually another one. It's
It's kind of cool. I was like, wow,
yeah.
well, why did we not
I
think
seen
about that like years
I
ago?
seen ones like that that's kind of similar concept, but it's a like two sections like this, and it's got a bunch of stuff to hang, and then you take that off and you go like that, and then you got all those stuff together.
Why did we never think about that before?
But they have that stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
now they do, but
for
like
only
ye
1995.
for only 1995.
And you act now, we'll throw in an extra set.
Yeah, those I love those ads. I really do. I miss old time ads. Old school ads were where it's at. Now it's just like it's just weird to me. I don't know. I don't like the ads
Oh,
today.
talking about ads, things I actually did. We got that vacuum that they have for the dogs on
What do you mean?
the it's a vacuum and it cuts the dog's hair and everything, so you could brush them or you can cut
Oh,
their hair.
I seen that exact
Uh-huh.
same thing for cats too. It's like you brush it and then it goes
Yeah, yeah. But you didn't want to know something? They already had something like that for humans years ago.
for humans.
Yeah,
Why do we
it was
have
an attachment that hooked up to like clippers, and then and you use your normal vacuum in your house and you put it up there and it vacuums the hair so it won't make it wet.
what? So
Yeah.
someone looked at it and they thought,
What
I can
about
use that
for
for my
my
dog.
dog? Yeah. But see, dogs are afraid of the noise, so some of them are like real quiet and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, the one that I have, I don't think it's that quiet.
They have seen the same thing for like cats, and it like also like showers them at the same time. It's like a steamer. It's like steams and then it grabs the hair and then just and then you just you click it and then it comes off and then just keep
Wow.
going. It's pretty cool. On the TikTok shop for only I don't know how much, but probably a good price according
Wow.
to them. 50% off like everything else is on the shop
Well,
apparently.
your mom bought something from TikTok. She bought those headphones that's supposed to translate, and you even tried to help me
I
use it,
did. I
didn't you?
can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. What they need to do is they need to come out with something to translate how to use the damn
Yeah, but
thing.
I actually bought a pair.
Does it work?
But I didn't buy the same. I bought them on actually Amazon, a little bit
Yeah.
more money, but they work.
They work?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, like
but
you can have a whole conversation?
yeah, it's got a little delay, but it's better than nothing. And then the actual voice overlays, like you could tell it's like a robot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, but
uh,
as long as it works though, that's good. But the TikTok shop kind of failed on that one. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a hit or miss on TikTok shop, and if it works or if it doesn't.
yeah, that's like anything. Even I mean, some things are good, some things not. You know, I mean, just like
Neurogum, that whole big thing that everybody's talking about everywhere. Like Joe Rogan talked about it, like a whole bunch of people in gaming scene talked about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to try it out. It actually fucking works, like really well, and it doesn't taste bad either. It's really good.
I know, and they were on the what was it, the Shark Tank, the TV
Yeah, they
show,
were, and they
and they kind
denied
of
them
not they
too. And
denied
look at
them,
them
knocked them.
now.
Yeah, well, that's good. You know what? That's good.
They're just like, "Hey, fuck you. I'm gonna make it," and they did. It's really good. Like the
You know, I'm glad it worked that way out for them. You know, because those guys are already self-made. They already got what they need. They don't need anything.
no, they
All they're
don't.
doing is making a freaking
That's why it's called Shark Tank.
yeah. Well,
Because
they don't really need the money or anything. They're just, you know, and I don't think they're really helping anybody. They're just this is making fun of entrepreneurs. That's what they're doing.
hmm
Oh, look at you! I already made it. Look at me. I'm so
You're
great.
like,
You know.
is this realistic? I was like, no, I'm sure at a time that you were doing this, probably told you, is it realistic? It's the same thing. You just got to get someone an opportunity to actually go out there and do something, you know?
Yeah.
But Neurogum is good. You should try it. I've been trying to have you try it for a little bit. It
Oh yeah.
actually is
I've
really
seen it.
good.
I seen it. I see a lot of stuff. I see Rogan talk about it a lot too. He talks about it.
And it's like
Uh,
L-theanine. It actually does work good though. I will
yeah.
say.
Well, hopefully they'll stay true to their product too. Like when people start getting famous, they start cutting corners and adding things that they shouldn't be.
Well, yeah,
Stir like
that's everything though.
I mean, it's ridiculous though. I
It
mean,
is.
it's like I was seeing a thing on TikTok just scrolling about bread and
Bread.
yeah, bread, just regular bread, like like wheat bread. This guy was showing like what's good and all that. And if you really look at the ingredients for bread, this should only be like maybe top four ingredients.
Right.
And if you grab a loaf of bread off the shelf, dude, it's like a paragraph. It's insane. It's like what?
What? For
Yeah,
bread.
for bread. Yeah, there's like chemicals that are in there, and they do things, because it makes the shelf life longer.
I don't get that. I don't
It's
understand.
all
Like
about money. That's all it's
they're like,
about.
"Oh yeah, shelf life. Here, we're gonna put some poison in your food. So just because it lasts longer, it doesn't turn green as fast, but you might die quicker too.
Well,
But as long as it stays on the shelf,
yeah, as long as it stays on the
what?
shelf. Meanwhile, you go to other countries and stuff, and you be like, I can't find the eggs. They don't refrigerate their eggs.
No, they don't. Why?
Well, because
Shouldn't need to.
Here in America, we wash the eggs, like bleach them, and it takes off that natural protection. I forgot what they call it, but a natural protection over the egg. That's why you don't have to refrigerate them. But
Mhm.
the reason why Americans do because they wash because technically the reason why they do that is to keep it from spreading salmonella, or, any born diseases that because the way they keep this stuff. But if they actually kept the chickens clean and let them free range instead of keeping cooped up,
That's
probably
true.
wouldn't even have to worry about that.
Well, you gotta also remember too, right? Like the farming in America is so like the population of people who actually farm in America is not a lot. Like there's not a lot of farmers.
Well,
And I'm not giving them the okay to do like chemicals and stuff like that, but they don't get the choice. The farmers don't get the choice, right? They make the product and then they send it over to like these grocery stores or whatever, or like big corporations that actually take this stuff and then they do whatever they do with them. If there was more farmers out there and there was more supply of this stuff, I think that a lot of that stuff would be mitigated.
well, there's certain things that we did. I would say back, way back. I mean, to prevent certain spreads of diseases and stuff like that. And now the technology you got nowadays and the way things get harvested quicker and stuff like that, that kind of obsoletes those passages and stuff like that, so that won't happen.
Yeah.
It's the same way, even the way God did it. The way He back in the Old Testament, He told them not to eat certain foods and stuff like that because pork was actually bad for you back then because there was no way to harvest it right or to keep refrigerated and certain things, and they didn't know about certain diseases that pork had in it. But nowadays, you don't got to worry about that no
No, they just add other chemicals that kill you.
more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, we can't kill the food's actually not killing us anymore. So now we got to put stuff in it so we can kill people slowly.
It, I don't understand it. Like, but hopefully within time, people realize that and they're just like, let this needs to change.
Well, they keep saying, well, the population, which is a farce and a lie.
Like, well, yeah,
We're not overpopulated,
no, we're not.
and
You ever
if
flown over America? You
well,
have obviously.
yeah, but
It's
but
it's
if
a it's a wasteland.
well, this is, I mean, even Elon Musk has said it, the same thing, that if you want to take everybody in the world and give them, I think it was like a square meter of room, you could fit everybody in the world inside Texas and still have room left over.
Yeah,
So how's that overpopulated?
that's 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 how it is. Well, it's an agenda to some degree. I don't know what they're trying to convey, but you know how it is. Fear.
Well, that's how.
If you make
Yeah,
people
make those
fear,
fear, they'll follow
yeah,
you. Yeah.
they'll listen to anything.
I mean, it's like the global warming thing. Well, now, or let's say what they say now. Global, it's climate change. Yeah, no shit. It's 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
But
no. I so that's one thing that I can't get behind when people are just like global warming doesn't exist or climate change is only 4 times a year like that. Only reason why I say that is because yes, it is true.
yes, it is
I
true.
wouldn't call it global warming, but what I will say is that climate change, yes, it happens 4 times a year, yes, but also
Yes,
within
there's
any
other
every
cycles.
designated areas, there is a designated cycle, and it goes for expands for, like, a couple of years, but after a couple of years, that weather change in that specific area is going to happen.
Yes.
So let's say, for instance, Florida is always hot. Let's say 20, 30 years from now, maybe it'll be cold all the time. That can happen. That's happened plenty of places before. People need to understand that over the lifespan of the Earth, these areas haven't always been the way that they've been. It's never been that way. And if you take into account of how the Earth spins around the Earth, all this other stuff, all this other the physics and all this other science that you want to go into, which I don't feel like going into, but climate change is real. And whether it means that the Earth is getting hotter, yeah,
Well,
whatever, that could happen. But that's
well, the
I'm not
thing
going to
is
be
why.
definitive.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the reason why they say all that stuff is they say we're contributing to it, and we're I would say speeding up the process of all the pollution and stuff like that. What we do, and I agree with I have nothing against that. Like we should find ways to not waste and find ways to renew things and stuff like
But
that.
I don't
I'm
think we're
all
contributing as much as they say. I don't
no,
think so.
no, I don't. But instead of like saying there's a problem, why aren't we looking for a solution? And forcing people to do it when the same people that are telling us not to do it are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So, or oh, the seas are gonna rise in the next 5, 10 years, whatever.
You know
What's
what?
the next thing they're gonna say?
You know what's stupid
But
about
then they
that?
still they still sell houses on the water.
You know what's dumb about that? Wait, because that I have to talk about. You know what's dumb about that? About them saying the sea levels is gonna rise. The stupidity behind that is like you ever have a glass of ice, right, and have water in it. When the ice melts, does the water rise?
Nope.
It's the same concept. It's the same concept. Now, could there be more
Well,
precipitation happening in the world
the
and then
re-
making the water rise?
well,
Yeah,
you
but it
got
won't be
you got to
because
think
the
of that
ice
and think of it
caps.
because all the glaciers that are not inside the water, technically,
No,
that's what they're saying.
that doesn't even contribute for 1% of the Earth's water. We're 75% water. If let's say all the ice in Antarctica melts, that you're not even gonna see anything. Nothing's gonna change at all whatsoever. It won't because it's already there, right?
I don't know.
It's not gonna rise. I'm sorry. That will not like make the sea levels rise. Now, if there's like continental shifts in the plates and stuff like that, yeah, that can happen and the sea level could rise, but it won't because the ice caps are melting and the polar bears don't have a home. That's that
The
that
polar bears in the
that
world.
that's not gonna happen, right? That in itself that does not make any sense. Like scientifically, that's not supported at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
it don't. But I'm for like do stuff, making stuff better for the planet and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I have nothing against that.
It has to be done
But
right. It has to be
yes,
done the right way.
and let's be realistic here. We can't just tomorrow say, "Oh, that's it, no more oil." There's
No,
no
we
way.
can't. We have to slowly integrate into something that's better. And electric cars aren't the answer either because they actually do more damage to the environment than normal
Yes,
cars.
yes, they do. It takes more energy footprint to make an electric car than it
Yeah.
does a regular
To
gasoline
run
car.
the damn thing, no. But to make it, oh my
Yes,
god, it's bad.
but they don't show you these things
No,
behind
of
the
course not.
scenes of these third world countries that have slave kids mining this metal, precious metal, and they sick and dying, but they don't show you that.
No. If they were making these batteries and other components to the electric cars in a type of plant that's renewable energy or energy that's safe for the environment, then I wouldn't complain. But I know that they're not.
I know Tesla had the answer for it, but they got it hidden.
Well, that and also, I found this out recently. You probably don't know this. So you know how everyone says like, oh, oxygen comes from like trees and like the rainforest and stuff like that. And the Amazon produces like the most oxygen for like the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they produce the most oxygen, but
Well, trees like plant life and all that stuff produces the most oxygen.
okay. Then what?
So actually, recently, this was cool. I didn't even know this. They have this thing called dark oxygen. It sounds stupid. It sounds stupid. Yeah, I know. It sounds dumb. I'm like, you could have come.
Dark matter.
Yeah, I know. You could have come up with something like like that's less cryptic. But yeah, they have dark oxygen, and pretty much what it is like at the bottom of the ocean, like very bottom of the ocean, there's these types of rocks that produce oxygen.
Well, there is oxygen in the water.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like the rocks that are
Can
deep
produce
down
it.
in the ocean,
Where the
or
hell did you
like
see
these
this
black
at?
rocks. I don't know. I don't remember. I think I was scrolling through TikTok. Funny enough, but they were saying that yeah, it
That sounds
produces.
interesting to me. I like to learn something like that. That's
It
kind of
was it
cool.
was pretty cool. I was just like, really? So it's like they produce oxygen and then it naturally rises up out of the ocean, and that's actually a big portion of where our oxygen
Wait a
comes
minute.
from as well.
Wait a minute. Let's pause there for a second. We went from TikTok to freaking dark oxygen. What in the hell?
And if you guys want to know more, just dark oxygen on TikTok, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your Chinese agent near you is actually showing you where it's at.
It's a Chinese conspiracy theory.
It's a good, they're putting it on TikTok, so everyone's just like, well, we should live in the water. Atlantis. Speaking of Atlantis, Venice is going underwater.
It's been on the water half of it.
No, it's like bad. Like people are eating dinner in boots. I shit you not. You need to look. It's funny. That city is sinking.
It's been sinking.
Yeah, I know, but it's bad now. Like everyone's walking around in rain boots and shit. They're just like, oh, it's just a normal day in Venice. It's like, dude, that's gonna be Atlantis. We just predicted Atlantis. It's Venice. We found it.
Well, there's a couple places they said they found it. So I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see.
That's where all the dark oxygen's coming from. Actually, it's coming from
Yeah.
Atlantis. Mhm.
Yes.
That's where it's coming from. I'm
Yeah,
100% sure.
That's where that's where Aquaman came from. No.
Yeah, dude. No, DC is terrible. You say Aquaman, I think of DC. I don't like DC. Never will.
Oh, I wasn't saying because I like it. I just said that's what I'm saying where they got it from. Probably the idea. Yeah, that's very interesting to me. I like
Right? Because that was like rocks producing oxygen at the bottom of the ocean. That's crazy. And it produces a good amount. So, like, it's like, even if there wasn't okay, well, we still need trees, right? Still need plant life. But even if there wasn't, like, there's still something producing oxygen.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the thing. They're saying that this, and that. You know, we're putting all this CO2 in the atmosphere. Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, when they dig cores to analyze the snow on the caps, and they show that there was more carbon dioxide going around when the dinosaurs are around than we have right now. So
yeah, but we're oxygen. Like, we thrive on oxygen. That's their main concern.
well, we don't breathe just that. There's other stuff in the atmosphere.
Well, yeah, we breathe other
Nitrogen-
things, but we need oxygen
nitrogen.
to survive,
Yeah.
right? But too much oxygen's not good either,
No.
because we would die quicker. That's what there was a time, because I'm so adverse in dinosaurs. There was a time where there was a lot of oxygen in the atmosphere. That's why everything was bigger.
No, it was more carbon dioxide.
No.
in the
No.
atmosphere.
No, look, the science tells you the more of oxygen there is, the bigger shit is. That's why you had like all these apatosaurs and shit like that were walking around fucking bigger than like 6 houses. Yeah, it's a lot of oxygen. Oxygen
Yeah, they need a
makes
lot of-
things bigger.
they
It
need
does. It
oxygen.
happens. Oxygen makes things bigger. Like that's why bugs back then were fucking huge too, is because there was a lot of oxygen in the atmosphere. But the caveat is that you live less. So you get bigger, you have like megafauna, but you also live less. So they don't have long
So what are you trying to
lifespans.
say? Because I'm short, I'm gonna live longer.
Yeah, no, that's actually true. Don't you see, like, the tall people die faster though? That to a degree, that's true. Tall people die faster. So I'm like, you know what? I may be short, but when I'm
gonna live
90,
longer.
when I'm 90 and I look 20 years back, I'm like, oh yeah, he did die. Like, I'm chilling. I'm okay being short. I'm gonna live a little bit longer than you are, all right? So I'm good with that. See, we have it easy. All right. We got it easy. We're not taking as much oxygen in, but we're chilling. We're chilling in the long run. We'll be around. I think it's cool though that like there's like still things that they're discovering about the ocean, like the dark oxygen shit.
Yeah,
That's cool. Like I never knew that a rock is gonna sit there and be like, "Hey, yo, breathe up."
Well, there's a lot of things in the ocean that they haven't even discovered yet. I mean, that's a lot of.
The megalodon's still out there. I can't.
I mean, there's some depths that we can't even go to, and it's dark, and there's actually creatures that live there. You know, it's like just imagine. What
I don't
else
think
is out
there.
there.
I don't think there's megafauna though.
A megalodon? You don't think
No,
it's still out there?
no, that's stupid. That would make no sense.
But we'll explain about some of those giant freaking squids that they find.
Yeah, but that doesn't suggest that look, if the megalodon was alive, the diet that it would have to undertake, there's not enough life in the ocean for it to
Well, we don't
thrive.
know that.
No, there's not.
You don't know
Like
that.
megafauna? No, there's no way. There's no way that a megalodon will be able to survive in today's oceans. There's no way. And they don't go deep either. They can't be in cold water. They're sharks. Sharks don't thrive in cold water. So it would have to be above like a certain depth, and we
Yeah.
would definitely find a megalodon if it was alive. Like it's kind of hard to miss a big ass shark like that. I mean, we have sharks
I
pretty
mean,
good
the
size. We have like
ocean.
20 feet, 30 feet sharks, but I mean, we're
I mean,
not going to 60.
the ocean's pretty big, so it's not
I
that
don't know.
hard.
I highly doubt that. I don't.
I don't know either.
I doubt it.
I'm not gonna say there is or
That's
not.
like them saying Nessie is still alive.
Nessie.
You know, the dinosaur with the
Oh
little
yeah, yeah,
flappy
yeah, yeah,
flaps
yeah,
with the
yeah.
long neck.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
don't think so.
forgot the name, but I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna. That doesn't matter. It'd be cool if it was alive still. That's whatever though. We'll send it. But Megalodon, not alive, 100%. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. I don't have to be a scientist to know that they're not alive. There's no way.
What if they say, "Hello, Mister DNA? I'm gonna make one."
I will support it 100%. I will
That would
support
be
it.
probably the easiest that creature that was large that they can make nowadays because they actually have
Yeah.
DNA as sharks.
Well, yeah, because a great
Or a
white is
woolly,
this.
or make a woolly mammoth. They can make a woolly mammoth.
Didn't they say they were trying to do that?
Yeah, I seen
When
that
did that
somewhere.
happen? Then they just said, "Nah, never mind. We lied."
I don't know. I heard about that too.
They said that
But
they impregnated an elephant to make a woolly. I don't know. They just
I
completely
mean,
ditched that idea, I guess.
that's a possibility right there. I mean,
Yeah,
that,
but woolly mammoths aren't cool. Not compared to a dinosaur.
well, no, but I mean, they have the if they have the stuff that they could make it, easier than I don't know. I
Yeah,
really don't know too much in the depth of the DNA and all that stuff. But
that
I
would be
mean,
cool.
yeah, it would be
But then I would tell them, "Hey, can you make a T-Rex now?" That'd be cool. It would just look like a big chicken.
look like a big
A
chicken.
big chicken.
Imagine that. We're
Yeah.
thinking is all this
A
cool
30-foot
vicious,
chicken.
vicious animal, and it turns out to be nothing.
Yeah, that's some good scrambled eggs right there.
Yeah, it makes it
Waffle House is back in
yeah,
business, baby.
yeah, they won't have to worry about shortage of eggs right now. They'll be like, "Oh, all you need is one egg for a month. That's it."
Just one egg a month. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. Yeah, you actually speaking about things that are like like fantasy and not alive today. You were wanting to talk to me about something that like lore or something about
Oh yeah,
some
yeah,
show that you watched.
yeah. We actually spoke about a little bit about it on the first episode, but we kind of steered in your direction of the dinosaur stuff. But
We almost did that just now.
yeah, we did. But
We gotta veer away from that because I could talk about that for centuries.
yeah, well, this is a show actually I didn't start watching it. Your mom did. She's the one that got me into it. It was years ago.
Yeah, she messed up, didn't she?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, I always was a Star Wars fan, not like obsessed like some people are, but I mean, I grew up on it, and it was something I like, and I like space and stuff like that. And there was a show that there was actually a movie. I seen the movie, but Showtime, this was years ago, actually came out with a show, and it was called Stargate SG-1. The actual movie was Stargate.
Mhm.
That was the movie, and then they actually came out with a TV show to expand to that story called SG-1, and it was a very successful series, like for a long time.
How many
And
seasons were out? Because I remember it coming on the TV. I just never.
I mean, I'm a big fan, but I'm not like some people are obsessed, so I'm not going to know the exact details. I mean, I have them, but I know it was like,
I've seen them. You have everything on DVD.
yes, I do.
You have the whole set.
Yeah, I do. I got that. I got Stargate Atlantis, which I like too. They came out with another one. It was kind of okay, but
It was crap.
no, I wouldn't say it was crap. It just seemed like they rushed into the idea. If I think if they, I don't know, it's like I don't know. It's just hard to explain. It wasn't as good as the other ones. It's just like anything. You make one movie and then they make more, and it's not the same as the first one.
Yeah.
It's hard to,
Keep the
keep
same
the
hype for the
yeah, yeah.
original.
So it was okay, but it was a short season. I think they only had like 2 seasons or something like that. So it wasn't that long or anything like that. But you were saying like dinosaurs, and sometimes I wish that it could be real, like kind of the way the concept of the story was and everything like that. That I mean, I think it can be real.
The only thing that I know for certain that's in the show is that fucking big ass teleporter thing.
yeah. What it is it's a wormhole, and then what it is the actual basis of it is that it, w- they call them the species, but they're supposed to be us
All right.
as a so advanced. Uh, they call them the gate builders, or what do they call them? Can't off the top of my head, but they were the ones that actually made the gates. They were this high advanced race. There was other races that were together,
Oh,
and they formed this in the alliances, and they were actually the most advanced because they made the Stargate. And what they would do is they would physically make a wormhole wherever they wanted to be in this gate, and then you go through one and go through another gate to another world, like so far away that it would take. Forget it. I mean, you can't even fathom the distance of where they
so
could
kind
travel
of like
within
the
seconds.
the the theory of bending time space and traveling through the fold of the space. So like the teleporter itself like folds space time and you just go through that little
Yeah,
window.
same kind of concept. How yeah, like Einstein says, you can actually bend space together, and then you just wiggle your way through like a wormhole. That's why they call it a wormhole. So
Right.
it's like a
So it's
a
like a piece
worm.
of paper. When you have a paper
Yeah,
like this,
yeah,
it's
and you
longer
fold
this
it.
way, but when you
You
fold
fold
it,
it.
it's
It's
it's short and
minute.
it's like this, and then you just travel right
Yeah,
through.
then it uses the stars to align where the target of the wormhole would go.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah, so every symbol on there is actually like a location.
Coordinates.
Yeah, coordinates. And it was 7 points. Six was the stars, the destination, and then the last one was actually where you're coming from, which is your home spot. And then it would take you seconds to go through it. And then when and I think it would be kind of cool something like that. And I think that
That would
we
make things
were
simpler. No, I wouldn't be late to work anymore.
yeah. Well, it ain't like it wasn't like the Star Trek thing. I mean, like
It
beam me
beat
up,
me up.
Scotty. And teleport us to another location, but it would actually be a whole
Teleportation
universe.
would be huge though for a lot of applications. That would
Well,
be cool.
there's a lot
But
of there's a lot of stuff out there that makes you question if it's real or not. But I think it would be cool if it was real or something like that. If it is real right now and they're not telling us anything, and
that's possible. There's a
but
lot of things.
there's a lot of things that are out there that you know that we invented and other people invented, and they haven't even brought it to society yet because they think that we're not ready for it yet. Yes, we are. I think the advance of people, the way we're moving, is much slower than it was back during, I would say, during the industrial age. How fast things move and how things got so advanced so quick. And I think we actually did a slowdown
I think because
because
people are getting complacent and content. Like they're just like, I think we're fine where we're at,
yeah,
and they don't want
well,
to change it.
that's the thing. To my opinion, we should already be on Mars.
But that's the thing, though. People are just. It's not even just the fact that we can do it. It's just the fact that people are just like, nah, I'm fine.
I'm not.
And but that's the majority of people, right? They don't really care about that anymore
You know,
because they think that we're at a point where we're at our highest, but we're not.
it's like it's a really good movie that is where I think we should be at right now. Is I don't know if you ever seen it. It was called Interstellar.
Yes, a lot of people have seen Interstellar. It's a movie. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, and I think that's where we should be at right now. We
Yeah,
should have colonies that we can have off rotating around, Saturn or Jupiter or whatever, and we should already be out there. I I don't know. Maybe it's not destined us for to be out there, or they just too scared, or I
I
don't
don't
know
think
what
it's
to do.
that. Like I told you, I think it's because people are comfortable where they're at. They
I'm
don't want to.
I don't know. I
This
think
this this century that we're in right now, they don't care. Like they just want to be where they're at, right? They just want to be like, I want my TikTok and I want my TikTok products and I just want to go do my 9 to 5. Like no, everyone's content. Like they're just like, yeah, it's fine. I'm good where I'm at. But like the minority of people who are out there just like, but what if there was more?
there is more. That's
No,
the
I mean
thing.
like for us as a species, they're like, what if there's more that we can do, right?
There is more that we can do. We just need to do it. And I think, like like they think that we'll use all our resources and everything. Like there's a
That's not true.
well, no, that's not that it's not true. And in some aspects, there is truth to it a little bit, but like steel and iron and stuff like that, like like digging for it or like that. We have something that is not that far from us. That once we're up there, we can make better products like steels and stuff like when they take impurities out of steel and iron and stuff like that, they have to put it under a vacuum and stuff. In space, you have pure vacuum, so you'll take everything out that's bad.
It's true.
And guess what? We have a little thing called the moon that we can station over there and have an industry over there and mines and make stuff over there. And it's easier, less gravity, easy to pick up stuff. You don't need all this heavy equipment stuff to pick up things. And
That
we,
is true. Things are a lot better.
there's money to be made there. I mean,
You imagine, right? Like there's like a ton of like metal and stuff like that. You just get a guy. He's just like, hey man, go pick that up, Jerry. He's like, all right, I got you. And just starts throwing around big, huge pieces of metal and stuff like
but that's what I
that.
know that, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, the gravity effect is different on the moon than it is on the Earth.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure that there is some risk involved, but
Well, that's with everything.
that's everything.
There's risk on just doing
But
it
you can
here.
minimize risk. I mean, at first we're going to have a lot of risk, and then once we're up there for a while, we're going to find things and invent things and minimize the risk, and then it's we need to explore it. Our natural instinct is to explore and find out what are we doing. We're not doing it right now.
Well,
We
that's true. I say that there's with invention, at least when it comes to things like that, or in general, actually, invention doesn't come without risk.
Yes, that's true.
You can't just make something and not have some type of risk. There's a risk to everything. Even making something stupid, it was like, oh yeah, that's nothing. It's like no, there's a risk to it, right? To some degree, especially when it's something like that, going up to the moon and harvesting materials and stuff like that. Yeah, of course there's risk, but I mean, like, we're not gonna know if it's sustainable or something that we can actually do if we don't even try. You know,
We can do it. It's just a question of
will we? When we
the
do
will
it?
to do
Yeah,
so. And everybody's talking about money, but nobody wants to take the risk to invest.
yeah.
You I hate to say it, billionaires, all these people that got all this money that's just sitting there. Why don't you invest in that stuff? And then you're gonna make more billions. What the heck?
I
There's
don't.
plenty of people that will take the risk and do the mining and do that stuff. If they get paid well,
All
I mean,
billionaires are the same though. It's greed. It's greed. It because money is the root of all evil.
this
The more
is
you make, the more evil you are because you just start caring about yourself. Now, if you're sustainable and you're just like, no, I'm making enough money, I'm okay. If I'm like making like $200,000 a year, I'm okay. I can afford everything I want. I can do extra and shit like that. Not a lot of people think that way. They're like, I want more. Why? For what? You can live your life. Just live your life. What? Why go crazy and be like, you know what? I want to own a whole country.
well, that's you gotta understand that.
That's ridiculous.
Well, what do you think? Most of these leaders in the world and most of these people that
Yeah, they're rich.
no, it's not that they're rich. Most of them, they're in certain positions, especially in politics. The reason why, because they're freaking psychopaths inside.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
that's
want
exactly
control.
why.
They want to control everything.
They're like, "Yeah, I got money, but I want slaves too."
I'm a narcissist. I want no. Nobody's
You know,
better
you
than
ever
me.
watch these too? Like that I hate to like get off topic, but you ever watch these like TikToks and stuff like that? I see them all the time and have to scroll past them because they just piss me off. It'd be like a billionaire and they'd be talking about how to make money and shit like that. And when you listen to them, it's like, yeah, they have some good advice sometimes, but like when you listen to them, you're just like, God, you love yourself so much, don't you? He's like, yeah, if you do it how I did it when I was younger. I'm like, dude, can you just say how to do it? Right?
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
just just stop beating around the bush about how like your life story came and like, yeah, I used to eat out of a KFC bucket in the back dumpster and now I'm a billionaire. Like I don't give a shit about that. You came to go tell us about something. I don't care about your life, right? You're no one cares, right? You came to give us advice. Give it, leave, bye. If you don't want to give it, that's fine. You don't have to share it with anybody. You can be selfish and conceited.
There's another point to that. It's like if it was so simple and so easy and so
Everybody would be
great,
rich.
everybody would be rich.
Everybody would.
Come on, give me
They're
a break.
but they're like, that's the same mentality that everyone who doesn't have money thinks. Listen, the reason why people have that mentality is because people like you are saying shit like this and not giving them the resources unless they pay $19.95 every month for a fucking course that
Act
only
now and you
that,
get this extra CD
I know.
that's $65 worth of value.
And it's like, dude, does it pay? Does it hurt you? Does it hurt your ego? Let's say this person has a net
Well,
worth of $150 billion. Does it really hurt you to put out a free course how to make people rich? Does it hurt you that much? You have
yes,
a
because
hundred
that
and
money that
fifty
can begin.
billion dollars. You want to charge people for a course that probably won't work. Kind of bullshit. That stuff right there is the shit that enrages me. Not because, oh, I'm not making money and stuff like that. I don't care about that. I care about the other people who actually want to support their family like that and they want to learn how to make money like these people do. But instead, they're just doing it to inflate their ego. They're like, yeah, man, follow these simple
Oh my
steps and
God.
you'll be just like me. I'm successful. You can too. Really? I don't know, dude. Because I don't want to look like that when I have money like that. I'd rather be like, you know what? That homeless person, I'm going to give them a place to stay tonight. I'm going to give them food. I'm going to do that. That's how you should be acting if you have all that money in the world. You should be acting selfless, not like, you know what? I can help you guys out for a price. Bro, why? Like, for what? It's so stupid. I hate it so much. And all billionaires are the same. I don't care what anybody says. They are all exactly the same. They have the same agenda. They do the same shit. It's all the same. They don't care about other people making money. They don't want them to. They
No,
have people
because
invest into things that won't work. They'll be like, yeah, you know what you need to do? In schools, they teach you not to be in debt. You have to be in debt.
what?
I shit you not. I shit you not. I seen some dude and they're just like, yeah, but that's why you guys are broke because you don't understand how debt works. Yeah, but you have to have money to start out doing any of that. You can't just be in debt and have 500 credit score and be like, hey, let me get a loan for a house. It doesn't work that way.
I
It
know.
don't work that way. Because seeing that, he was like, yeah, get a loan for a property for about $100,000. Do you think that anybody out here is going to get a loan for $100,000 just for no reason?
Yeah, for the hell of it.
That no, that's not how that works. They're like, well, just stay broke, I guess. Okay, fine. I'll stay broke. I'll eat my cheeseburger while you up there eating fucking steak that's not even worth the money that it's worth.
Well, that's another scam. Is the credit system is another scam.
It is a scam.
It is.
Unfortunately, they are right to a degree
certain
when they say that
extent,
debt
yes.
is important. Yeah, debt is important because it's debt to asset. Yeah, sure,
Well,
but like people can't just do that.
Say you let's be hypothetical here. Your debt, you got some debt, and say you didn't pay some things, but not substantial amount of debt, like a couple of thousand here and there, and your credit score just goes so freaking low.
Yeah,
And then you got a decent job, and if like say you can get a loan, say you're like 20 something $1,000 in credit card debt, right? And you didn't make the payments because you went through a rough patch. Got a new job now, you're making decent money, but you didn't pay those credit cards for a while, so they went to I don't know some collection agencies or whatever they do, whatever. So your credit's like crap,
yeah.
but you got a good job, making good money now, and you were like, man, it'd be good if I could get a car or something. But and then I I can't because I can't get a loan because my credit's bad. But I got a good job, and I can afford to pay it. And you're like, well, what if I could get a loan, so I can get a car, and then I could pay off those credit cards that I owed. But yeah, you can get it, but because you have bad credit, you got to pay like a god awful like 28% interest on it because you have bad credit. But some that have good credit and wanted to have bad
Yeah,
credit.
have
So,
no credit score, or whatever, because they don't believe in credit, right? They're like, I just want to spend the money that I have, right?
yeah, there's a
Flow
lot
with
of
the
people
rife,
like
and they
that.
do
There's
that,
a
right?
lot of people like that.
And let's say they want to buy a house, you can't buy a house unless it's outright, or you have good credit.
Yes.
Unless you can pay for that house in cash,
Yeah, they won't give you a
they
loan.
will not let you get that house, even if you prove to them that you are making enough money to pay off that house in 2 years. They will not let you buy that fucking house because they're
Unless,
just like,
well,
sorry, save your money for 2 years and then come back and we'll buy it. Like,
there's only one way out of that solution though.
wow,
If you were in the military, you could get a VA loan.
that is true. That actually is true. You could just be like, you know what,
But before
VA.
before you used to be able to have I believe it was a 5-something credit score, and you could buy a house
Not anymore.
with the VA. Not anymore. It's gotta be.
It has to be
620.
630 and 630.
630 now.
Mm-hmm. I talked to them about a year ago, just to see. I wasn't going to try and have my credit pulled or anything. I just wanted to see because I wanted to know. And they were like, "Yeah, you need a 630 credit score to get approved for the V." I was like, "Okay, that's great. I don't have any credit." They're like, "Oh, better get some." I'm like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I sacrificed my life for your country, but I can't get a house.
Yeah, but if you're a billionaire,
Well,
the
you
advice
get the
that
money, you
if
get the
you, no,
money.
if you're a billionaire, just make sure you give the advice out to, hey man, anybody can do it. Just go get a loan and go buy a hotel complex, and then you'll be okay. And then you just rent it out, make your money there, and then buy more properties and stuff like that. Yeah, you forgot the part where you have to get fucking approved for it, dumbass.
Well, they will approve for you because you're gonna have provable income for renting it.
How do you do like when they say stuff like that? It's like, yeah, it sounds good on paper, but like in reality, that's not how that shit works. Like, I don't think they understand the day to day like basis of like how money really works. Because if they really understood, they would understand that there's a whole bunch of factors that come into play for everyone's day to day life, and it ain't gonna be as easy as it was for that person.
That's all the golden rule. You gotta have money to make money.
Yes, you can't just start from nothing and then make something. As bad as the people want to say, they're like, oh well, there's a whole bunch of things you could do.
And also money.
No, you can't, because there's got to
also,
be things that are going to stop you.
Also, money attracts money. If you got money, it usually attracts you. So it's whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It happens.
You know what it is? It's whatever God's will. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your will to be a millionaire or a billionaire, you will be. If it is not His will, you're not gonna have it.
Nope. What are I guess what I was thinking is, what are other things
Why?
in Stargate that like
You think it's real?
well, not that you think is real.
No. Oh,
but like
it would be cool if it was real.
Well, not cool if it was real. Like, I don't even know anything about Stargate. Like, I don't even. I guess I'm asking more or less like what happens in it, because the whole wormhole thing is cool, and then like that actually.
What it is that the humans were actually slaves. When this one race that they think that it was an alien race that actually made the pyramids and everything, because we still today they have no clue how they moved those stones that were. We're not talking about like 2-3 tons. We're talking about hundreds of tons.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's feasible.
Well, anyway.
Well, whatever. Let's talk about the dinosaur subject. But but the humans were used as slaves and stuff, and it was kind of cool. Like, there's this one alien race that I don't know where they got this guy who came up with this idea, but it was crazy. They're a parasite, you might as well say, like a snake, and they live inside. They use humans as a host, and they take over the body. Yeah, they wrap themselves around their upper spine, around by their brainstem, and they actually take over the person's body.
So like a symbiote.
Yeah, and they actually take over it.
What?
Yeah, they take over the person's body, but of course, the person can't control their body anymore or
But they're
nothing
still
like
are
that.
they still conscious?
They know what's going on, but they can't do nothing.
That's weird. That's freaky. You
Yeah, it is
imagine that?
freaking out.
You imagine that something being like
I don't want that to be real.
controlling your body.
That's
No,
one thing.
yeah, like controlling your body and stuff like that. Well, actually, there are things that are real that are like that. It's like
But
a certain fungus that can do that
really?
to animals. Yeah, but they
Well,
can't go into our body because our body temperature is too hot.
well,
You imagine that?
but these,
That'd be
but
crazy.
but the cool thing about there is some coolness to it. But these creatures, these symbiotes, you could call them. That's a good analogy for it.
Mhm.
Alien race is that they carry their knowledge since the beginning of the dawn of their creation or whatever. They know all the knowledge of everything. Like if this one symbiote knew this information, it gets passed down to the next generation
Mhm.
of it's kind of weird the way it does it. So everything knowledge is they have inside them, and they're though like that alien race is kind of like thieves. They steal their knowledge. They're
Like they
smart.
steal it away from other
Yeah,
other aliens.
like a lot of the technology they got from other alien races that it wasn't. Like what we go through right here in China. Most of their technology they stole it from other people, and they copied it and patented it, and even patents they copy off for. Which in a way I don't agree in patents anyway. I think just let man work on someone else's idea and improve it. It doesn't mean that I'm the original invented idea. Nobody could do what I want to do.
I think there should be credit to it. Like
Yes,
have
you
credit.
give
Be like,
you give them credit to it.
yeah,
And if they improve it a little bit better, and maybe the product didn't get off the ground, and then they took his idea, made it better. Yeah, he should get royalties and some credit for it. I agree with that, but it shouldn't be blocked so nobody
no one
can.
can do it.
Yeah. Well, what were we talking about? Stargate. That's what
Yeah.
this alien race did. They would take ideas, uh, from other races and steal their technology, and they'll intertwine it with their own and stuff like that. And it was
And like make it their own and claim
yeah,
that it was just them.
yeah, and like they're the smart ones, and what it was is that men and these other worlds and stuff like that, and other planets. I wouldn't say worlds, but planets. They would like get more advanced, and then what they would do is freaking destroy them.
What
So they
the
can't.
freak?
Yeah, because they don't want them to advance. So it's just like anything. They don't want us to rebel against them.
So they keep it simple.
Like what happened with our Earth, what they were saying why they weren't there anymore, is because the people on Earth have rebelled, and what they did was they buried the Stargate because the planets and everything, the universe is so freaking vast that the spacecrafts would take a long time to get to these planets. But with this Stargate, it's within seconds.
Right.
Bam, you're there in seconds.
Hmm.
And that's how they took over these planets, and they enslaved, the humans to mine for their like precious metal. What was it? I can't remember. Naquita it was called the metal they would mine for, and that's what the basis of how their spaceships would move and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And there's other races out there. There was like the aliens that everybody sees, they look like with the big eyes and everything.
Yeah.
That actually that race is actually in there, and they were actually part of the alliance of the planets and everything like that. Like the humans, what they called, they were. What I can't remember the name. I'm
Damn, you are not a fan.
I am a fan, but it's just I haven't. I remember the guy's name. His name was called Thor. They come from like all this theology that the Greeks have and stuff was based off of aliens. Like Thor was actually their race. The guy there was an alien's name. His name was actually named Thor.
Huh.
And they would hide the way they look because they didn't think humans were ready. And certain planets they weren't ready to know about them, so they kind of make it like fake. Because they this other race, the ones that would possess people, whatever, not possess, but symbiote inside people's bodies, they would actually act like they were gods, and they wanted to be worshipped as gods,
Huh.
even though they're not. It's just an alien race inside of a human, and then they just had technology that, you know, prehistoric man, I would say, or less educated men, they would be like, oh, that's magic. It's like
Hmm.
we they have to be a god to do something like that. They even had they had the technology of healing themselves. They would go into this like sarcophagus, and they can be like even dead, and they could go in there and they stay in there a certain amount of time, and they would actually come back to life
Hmm.
or heal whatever wounds they got and everything like that. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and then they had this other race, the Nox, they were called.
The Knox.
Yeah, they were like really powerful beings. They were like humans. They looked just like us humans, but they were really advanced. But they didn't believe on violence, so they could make things like disappear, but they're still there. They have the powers to lose people so they can't see it, and they don't need weapons. They were strong enough they could just wipe people from existence if they wanted to. But they were a peaceful race, and then they had another race that was called the. You're gonna laugh. They were called the furries. Oh my god! I know you're gonna laugh at that. But there was
The
actually a race.
furries.
There was actually a race called the furries,
The
and they were a
furries.
peaceful race. But they really didn't do too much about them on the show. Maybe because of the name or
I
something.
wonder
maybe?
why.
I mean, but they didn't really.
It's someone who was watching the show. They're like, you know what?
You know what?
This could be big.
Yeah, and it's
Maybe they just treated them like how people treat them today, where they're just like, yeah, they're there, but
yeah, and then was another, and then the race that was called, they're called the gatekeepers,
yeah, the gatekeepers.
the gate builders that we call them. What what did they name? What their names were? We would call them the ancients. That was
Mhm.
the name we gave them, the ancients.
Okay.
And I think they've been around the longest, and they know a lot. Like the one that race that I said what would they call? I forgot what they would call those aliens. All I remember is Thor. His name is Thor, but I can't remember what they were called. I don't know why I forget them. I remember all the other ones, but I forget them. But they didn't reproduce like we did.
Hmm.
They would genetically make people, and then they would pass their consciousness on to the new body.
What?
Yeah, but they wind up dying. That race winds up dying because they forget how to. They didn't forget that they did it for so long. They would copy themselves over so many times that it diluted their DNA, so they couldn't pass. They couldn't keep making new bodies. This is like towards the end of the season of the show, um, but they had a long war uh, with this other race that we actually the ancients made. They were called the replicators.
The
They were actually
replicators.
robots that were the humanoid that
Humanoid
we
robots like
that
AI.
we made. That the ancient the civilization, the humans were called the ancients, the old ones that been around
Yeah,
for
like
a while.
precursor humans.
Yeah, yeah. They actually made the to serve us, to do war for us, so we didn't have to worry about sacrificing our human form. We would sit out a race of
And then
robots.
I
They
was
turned
assuming
on
he
us.
became like a Terminator type of thing.
Terminator's a sissy compared to these. I'll tell you that right now. Yes, it was weird. They could take their hand and actually like form it to go inside your mind and freaking go into your brain and find out what you're all about and everything.
What
Read your mind.
the heck?
Yeah, it was weird, dude. I'm telling you. And
Damn, TikTok personified.
dude, there's some stuff in there, and a lot of people don't realize some of the stuff that's in there is like way out there. And the thing is that the ancients, which is us, like that's when they actually made another series called Atlantis. What it was that they were trying to find the city of Los Atlantis is actually a city built by the ancients, and they do find it. And this city, the technology had on it was like phenomenal what they could do. They finally uncovered what it could do. The actual city can actually go into space.
What?
Yes, this huge city would fly. It was like a giant ship, and then have a force field around and everything, and they could actually they call it a star drive, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They could actually like Star Trek, go warp 1 or warp 2, they could actually travel the speed of light, like actually get places.
Yeah.
Well, the technology that the ancients had, they had the fastest star drive. Like they could travel the fastest. And the thing that killed them off was how this gets some crazy thing. Another thing that the ancients made that actually hurt them was this one bug that was really bad. They integrated it with human DNA, and they made this creature called the Wraith.
What is
And they would,
that?
yeah, wait, this is freaky. Wait, how they survived? They didn't eat food. They would have to freaking put their hand on top of someone's chest and suck their life force out of them.
What?
Yeah, that's how they lived. That's how they feed, and they were like human strength. They could do things, but even their ships were like alive. They were made out of like a
Like organic,
organic material. Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, it was weird, dude. There's some crazy stuff out there, man. It's like, who would think of this stuff? And
Some dude that was probably just on acid, just like, I want to make a show.
well, but well,
That is crazy.
Well,
though.
I
That's-
actually have it. I can't, I mean, I don't know how I would prove it, but I had ideas when I was a kid, and I wrote a book on it. And I actually still have the book, and I actually have a book that says that you could actually travel through time and space through black holes.
Yeah, now that's like in recent years, that's been like a topic about that.
But I have that when I was 10 years old. I wrote a book.
Mhm.
I still have it.
No, not me. You.
Oh, me.
No, I'm saying not me. As far as writing, so cause I like to write too. Because you said that you wrote about like space and traveling through
Yes,
through black holes and
yeah,
stuff like that.
there
And
was-
when I wrote, I didn't do that. You know what I wrote about? When I was in school and I finally wrote something that was worth like a lot, like I wrote a lot about, was about a serial killer. It was a woman, a female serial killer. Wait, this gets good. It was a female serial killer
Which
that
is
breaks the fourth. Yeah, I know that's the purpose of it. Breaks the fourth wall, and has everything is wrong with them. It's kind of like Deadpool, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really. It's not like Deadpool. It's like a little bit different, but she's insane. That's what I wrote about.
Really?
So I don't know why I did, but I did. And then my teacher asked me if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. So you wrote about science. I wrote about just people being insane.
Well, I even wrote about a short story that they came out with a movie about it and a cartoon
What?
of a house flying into space.
Oh, you talking about Zathura?
Yes.
Yeah.
I already wrote that. That was
movie,
weird.
That movie
But
was
but like I was saying, well, we're going off topic, but like Stargate, it's such a storyline. Some of the stuff is like kind of like over the top. It's like SG-1. It's like nothing can kill them. They get out of it every freaking time, and they always find a way. And
plot armor.
yeah, but I mean, but if the concept of it behind the whole thing is cool, you know what I'm saying? It's like even
But what's the basis of it? Like, what's the purpose? Like,
They-
like what's the purpose of the show? Like, why does it start and like what
Stargate.
What's the plot? Like, where does it go? Like, they have all this cool shit,
Well,
but like, what happens? Do they like
with
end
the
up?
plot of the story is just like with the human races. We're explorers. We want to go see new things.
So they're trying to like
and
take
what they
power
try-
again.
Well, what they're trying to do is like during the movie, they actually kill the alien. That's it's hard to kill them. They got all this technology, and it's showing that just us, we killed this alien race, and then we wind up making enemies. So they're going out to this Stargate, and they're going through these other planets trying to find other races that are more advanced to share technology and stuff like that. Well, there was this one race that's really advanced that they said, no, we're not going to share our technology with you. We can't. Because the last time we shared this technology from another race, they destroyed themselves. And we know that you might do the same thing. That's why we don't want to give you the technology. They had a technology. They wear this little gadget on their arm or whatever, and they could go through wall. They could go through any living matter, anything. They could go through any matter.
They just phase through anything.
Yeah, and then they had advanced weaponry and like that alien race. They were called the. Man, I can't. I mean, dude, I gotta start watching again.
Blanks. You gotta watch it again and be like, hey, by the way,
Yeah,
should
I
go
know I
watch
haven't
this.
watched it in a while, but I mean, but that alien race is they want to steal technology and everything. They won't even mess with them because they
Yeah.
can kill them. They already blew their spacecrafts out in space from the planet. Some of the weapons they had, they just blew them right out of the sky.
The fuck.
Yeah, that's why they didn't mess with them. But they're conniving, sneaky parasites, or symbiotes, whatever you want to call them. And they find a way to weaken their weaponry, and then they wind up attacking them and destroying them and stuff. They were the only other race that made a Stargate too.
Who, the parasites?
No,
The
other
one with the
I can't
fucking
remember,
watch.
I can't remember the name of them. There's so many of them out there. That's why I can't remember all of them.
There's so many races.
Races, yeah, races. But that's another thing good about this show.
It's a variety. It's not the same thing all the time.
Yes, it's not. And then not only that, it's like even one of the teammates on the SG-1 is actually one of the he has one of the parasites in his pouch. They make like a pouch that when they're really small, these parasites, they have to live inside these humans for a certain amount of time for to mature.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and these guys are their soldiers, and it gives them strength, and this creature that's in them helps them heal and stuff like that, so they can never get sick and die. The guy that was on their team, he was already 200 something years old.
What?
Yeah.
How long does it take for them to mature then?
No, when they're to mature, they take it out and they put another one in them. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. What did they call themselves? Actually, I can't remember. It's been so long since I watched it in a while.
So the whole premise of the show,
yeah, it's not for us.
It's for them to like regain their power as humans.
Well, they have to Greek mythology gods and even Egypt. Like Ra was the one that they killed in the movie. Then they had Horus. They had Thor was like for the good side.
So they just kind of combined every not mythological, but
and they were actually real people.
That's cool.
Yeah, and what was there was one episode that one Greek it was a Greek god no, not Greek, but it was a Egyptian goddess of love. She's an actual
Egyptian goddess of drawing blanks. I don't know.
I don't
the
remember,
only goddess of love that I know
was Greek mythology.
Was Greek and Aphrodite. That's it. I don't know any other ones.
But it was something like even that too. She's in there too.
Oh really?
In the show, yeah. That's it. She's a what did they call themselves?
I think you need to watch it again.
I know.
You need to watch it again.
I gotta start watching from the beginning again.
Someone's gonna comment below and someone's gonna say something to be like, "You idiot! It's obviously this."
Yeah,
at this timestamp in this season, this episode.
Well,
how can you forget?
I remember some of the names. Like one of the gods, his name's Baal. He was a big factor in there. Baal, like, and then the guy that was leader SG-1, he goes, "What do you mean, like bocce ball?"
Like bocce ball. What is that?
It's an actual game. It's a sport, like a Arab sport or something like that. They did play with a ball,
With it like hacky sack?
It's something like that. I don't know. It's a type of game. It's called bocce ball.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and then but it's got humor in it to it. Like obvious stuff goes on, and the guy that's the leader SG-1, he's got that humor, like someone would say something so obvious, and he'd be like, yeah, like they say something stupid, and a lot of things happens to him, like he's really he like sacrifices himself a lot, because he has nothing left to prove, not prove, but to live for, because he lost his son. That's the start of
and his plot armor give him
the way he is. He's got this
he has plot armor. He doesn't die.
Yeah, he don't. He's like they even have this one episode that they turn into like cavemen, and it was because it was this
what?
It was just some virus. Yeah, and then they wound up curing themselves because it was something stupid. And one of the characters, like I'll tell you all the team members. You got Colonel O'Neill, which is the leader of the SG-1. Then you had Teal'c, which he was a soldier of Oh yeah, that was another Greek god. What was his name? Ah, uh,
What is it? What does the Greek god do? I could
no,
probably tell you.
not Greek. I mean, not Greek god. Egyptian. They had a bunch of them. They even have one. Uh, I can't remember that name. What was his name? And he was one of the, he was in the, he never dies because somehow he gets come back to life all the time. What was his name?
That gets
I'm
annoying.
trying.
That's like the
The,
characters just keep coming back alive. You're like, he'll be all right. There's no suspense there.
well, because they all thought they were gods and stuff like that. One, like Ra was a god. They killed. He at that time when we killed him, he was the most powerful. Like they have this leadership of all these gods.
Beings. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a club, you want to say, or whatever. They're all part of this. They all hate each other, but Ra was like at the top,
Yeah.
and we killed him. And then when that did, it made a lot of chaos. And so they have this structure going on. Like even some of the uh, Japanese and Chinese like famous gods, whatever they have, they're actually come from these creatures. That's what they are.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird, man. And even Greek mythology gods come from there. Most of them come from that one race that I can't remember its name right now off the top of my head. The Asgards. There you go. I remember it.
Of course, it's the Asgards.
That's what they were called. They were called the Asgards,
That
and
makes
they were
sense.
actually some of the people that say with the round kind of like egg shaped head, the big eyes. Yeah, they're actually in there. And they're the good guys. They're like little. They're probably only about like 3.5 feet tall or something like
What
that.
the frick?
Skinny as anything.
The Greys.
Yeah, but a lot of people say the Greys are supposed to be evil, but and they're not. But and then you have like I can't think of the freaking. I'm getting old. That's what it is. I can't.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
showing.
can't think. I can't think of the name of the symbiote ones. I can't. I can't remember.
That's a shame
It's making me
because
mad.
they sound the coolest. Out
No,
of
they
all
do
the other
got kind of
races.
the name that they have goes to what they are, and they even have like uh the way it is. It's almost like a hive kind of. Well,
Like a
no,
hive mind.
that's how the wraith are. They're it's like a bug, like almost like a beehive like concept they got
Yeah.
going on. They got a queen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the same thing with the other ones. They have a queen that lays these parasites, and they carry the whole genetic structure, and they carry on everything they know through the. So if one, like say this one god, like say Anubis is one of them. That's another one.
Yeah.
Anubis. I'm starting to remember the names. He was really powerful. He was the one that actually is half ascended and half alive. It's weird. That's another concept.
That doesn't make sense.
See what the ancients' ultimate goal was to ascend. When you ascend, it's like like going to heaven,
Yeah.
and you're a life force. You're energy. You're a life force.
So he was half energy, half living.
Yeah, he tricked them into. There's this one woman that she was an ascending being, and she would help people ascend.
Yeah.
And he tricked her. She didn't know who he was. She didn't know that he was a bad person at the time.
Yeah.
Anubis. And then they don't do nothing to help us. Like the ascending beings, the ancients, they don't help us. Then what they do is they just look and they find. As long as he don't use the knowledge of the ancients that he had against us, he would have to acquire the technology himself. So he was trying to look for it. Like the old ancients, they have places out there that they have the technology that's just there,
Right.
and they're looking for it because it's really advanced. It's more advanced than anybody. The ancients are supposed to be the most powerful race, which is us, the human race. We were at one time the most powerful, but we kind of destroyed ourselves, like making the replicators, and we made the wraith. That's
Mhm.
which killed a lot of us off. There, that's why, and the all that spin off the Atlantis, they actually combine them both. They have series with them both together. So when they find, they find this lost city Atlantis, what it was is that we made this race, and they actually fought against us, and they had the reason why I would say we probably lost the war. The Angels lost the war because there was just so many of them.
Right.
They would breed. They would like they would breed fast, and they would make so many of them that it was just. It wasn't that the technology wasn't enough. It was just so many, that they couldn't
The
fight them all.
numbers, yeah.
So they just gave up. But their answer was the replicators because they can't feed off of the replicators. They weren't humans. They
Yeah.
were robots.
They were robots, so I mean, you can't really
And you
feed
could
on.
you could like literally chop off an arm off a replicator and just form right back up.
That's
So
kind
they
of broken.
they were
No?
like nanotechnology, like they would heal themselves.
That's kind of broken.
Yeah, it was they were,
What the heck? Don't you
They-
think that they would be the most advanced at that
they
point?
they
then?
are and in the show they finally find them, and they find the city that they made that the ancients thought they destroyed, but they didn't. They rebuilt the whole city. They had the like those cities that would fly. They had like 6 or 7 of them there. They had this whole huge city. They had the spaceships. They had everything that we were looking for. They had everything.
What?
They had these things they used for power.
Mm-hmm.
They call them ZPMs or something. Like, I can remember that stuff, but I can't remember.
You can't
the
remember
races.
the races, the most important part of like the
Yeah.
show, but you can remember like, oh yeah, this was a Z240 battery charger. What?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but let me finish this first, and I'll tell you something. They actually had these. They call them ZPMs. I know the ancients probably call them something else, but that's what they called them.
Mhm.
That we call them. And they were probably like about like this big, and they look like crystals, like different colors. And it looked like a giant crystal thing, and it was like flat on the top. But how they would get the energy was in between dimensions, and they would hold it. Yeah, it's weird, dude. There's some weird stuff out there.
Between dimensions.
Yeah, that's how they get the power from. They absorb-
dimensional energy.
Yes, that's what it is, and
That's an interesting concept.
yes, and it's really powerful. We're the ancient was the only one that can harness that power, and the only ones that how to use it. And we actually, this one scientist called McKay, he's real anal. He's like self-absorbed, and he's worse than Elon. He's Elon if he didn't if he
So
if he wa-
Stargate predicted
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Yes, it was. I'm serious, dude.
That's funny.
He's like Elon Musk if he didn't have Asperger's, But he was really smart. This guy's really smart, and he actually finds a way how to make it and stuff. It almost blows up a freaking universe.
What?
Yes, it's weird. It's some crazy crap.
So you
Now, what
could-
I was telling you about, like, you know how we got wireless charging and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that in Stargate universe before that came out. Yes.
What?
Charging things on a platform on that series, Stargate universe, before we had it ourselves.
Well, you know what's funny about that? A lot of technology that we have today were in like those sci-fi shows.
I'm telling you, man.
A lot of it. You remember
Baby
Stargate?
traveling through a
Not
Stargate.
Stargate.
radio.
What's it called?
Star Trek.
Star Trek. When they had like the phones,
Yeah.
and then we came out with phones not too long after that.
Yep.
That was cool. I mean, I'm sure there's some things in Stargate that we probably have technology-wise that's like inspired by Stargate.
Yeah, they do.
If it's a space show,
And
because all these space
I'm
shows
telling you-
always
And then listen to this. Then they had another race.
that you don't know the name of.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yes, I do. I remember. Wait, I do. I remember them. They're called the Ori.
The Ori, the onion.
The Ori. They were actually sentient beings, the same as the ancients, but they were the type that wanted. They meant themselves known to men, and they meant to worship them, and they gained power by people worshiping them. That's how they gain their power. Like, get strong,
Yeah.
and they want to. The more people they get, the stronger they get, and they want to destroy the ascended beings. They would promise people to get ascended, but they never did. And what they would do is they would get humans and kind of touch them, and they would make them like have powers like an ascended being, but not all the strength, but they had all the knowledge, and they were called the priors. I don't know. This is the names they called them.
What the fuck?
They were like people that would set up the message, the worship the aura and all this stuff. And they made some spaceships that were freaking badass. I mean, And they want what happened was that near the end. This is to get you familiar that they would. This is the thing. They would battle the replicators. We find a
Mhm.
way to beat them.
Yeah.
Uh, then they fight this creature. Well, the first ones was the first ones, and I can't remember the name of the freaking species. The ones that were symbiotes.
That's just what we'll call them. We'll just call them symbiotes because they actually, when you explain it, it's exactly the same as like how the
It's
symbiotes
really
work in Marvel. It's the
it's
same shit. They
I
take
know, but
over a host, and the host is the only reason why they survive. And then on top of that, they have a shared mind. Like when one experiences it, they all
I
experience it.
can't.
They learn
And their spaceships were shaped as pyramids.
like a pyramid. Dude, you know what's cool.
That was a landing. That's what they would land their ship on top of the pyramid.
You know what's
That's what
cool
it was
though.
made for, landing sites.
You know what's cool.
Wow.
I love pyramid ships.
No,
Like the concept of like an actual
no.
pyramid
If
ship
you
is
see
so
it,
cool.
if you see it,
I'll have
you'd
to
be like,
look, but
dude,
there's a game that I play that has pyramid ships, and for whatever reason, it's something about that shape that's so ominous. So the ships are kind of like, I don't want to say they're exactly pyramid shape. They're kind of elongated, right? You have like it's like you know how a pyramid looks.
Mhm.
One of the corners is extended out this way, right? But it still has that pyramid shape. And I remember when they first introduced it. They first introduced it in a mission where you go deep inside the moon. By the way, you probably would love the story of this video game because it follows Stargate like to the. It's the game that I try to make you play with me. Remember back in the day, Destiny 2?
I already still have it.
Yeah. So that game, the story, like when you talk about Stargate, it reminds me a lot about that game. Like it's pretty damn close. But they're in the. You go inside the moon,
All
right?
right, wait, hold on. Now that I
What?
remember the name, I looked it up while we were on a little break there for a second. They're called the Gaul.
The guy wool.
Yes.
The gabagool.
Not the
The
Gabagool.
gabagool.
the Gabagool. No, it's
He
Gaul.
take over your body, gabagool.
The Gaul. And then they had another race that was.
Did they make you want to eat pasta when they take over you too?
That was good. That was good. That was good. I meant that. That was good.
No, you go inside the moon, right?
Yeah.
You go inside the moon. The moon is one of the places that you can go, like one of the destinations that you go within the game. So you go inside the moon,
Now,
and
is
there's
this
like
the one-
these.
That's that game with the pyramids in it?
Yeah. So you go inside the moon, and then you're doing like this mission because there's like nightmares or that like there's like these entities that are like coming back alive, and they're like taking over people's bodies, like nightmare energy. There's a whole thing behind that, but like they're floating in the air and stuff like that. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's happening? You're going to these caverns into the moon, and then you get to you see like that kind of looks like an opening. You come around the corner, and then the music. This every time I play the mission, I play it once in a while just for nostalgia and like the feeling that I get from it. I get goosebumps every time I go in there because like it's like this huge. It's massive. It's huge. It's like you know how big the moon is, right? But then you see this and you're just like, how? It's because it's underneath the surface. It's massive. I'm talking like tens of times bigger than like the pyramids that we have on Earth.
Yeah.
It's massive, and it's just this black pyramid. And then like you come around the corner and you see that shit, and you don't even get to see all of it. You only get to see like
You
a
see,
portion
a
of it,
portion of it.
but you know what it is, and then you see it, and then it's just like the music is just goes like it's like weird ominous music, and you look at it,
Wow.
and it's just like it's so freaking cool, and the way they captured it, and I'm just like when you talk about pyramid ships, I think about that. I'm like, dude, yeah, pyramid ships are fucking cool, like the shape, and then like it's just weird,
You know what they
a
call
weird geometry
you know what
that
they
you're
call
just
this
like what.
That what those ships that they had that were the big ones, the like
Yeah.
motherships or whatever you want to call them,
Uh-huh.
which was the pyramid shaped ones. And then they had outside stuff that was around the pyramid shape. And the hatak. That's what they call it.
Hatak.
Yeah. And then they had Alkesh, Hatesh. They had all kinds of weird names of these ships and stuff.
And this is all the Gaul.
Yeah, they had their own ships, and they had these.
So they're naming their ships after Italian dishes.
I guess.
That's what it sounds like. Yo, I
Well, they
that
had
sounds
this
like a
one-
pretty good dish. Hatash.
They had this one gun. It was some long word, but they shortened it and they called it a zap gun. You actually, it would spring up like this, like spring up. You like you hear it go, ching, and then and you shoot it, it's like a lightning, and you hit it and it stuns you. The second time you get hit, it freaking kills you. The third time, you disappear.
What the freak?
Yeah.
Three
It wasn't
times and you're out.
yeah, and the way that the lightning one, it wasn't like a real direct. You had to have good aim to use it.
Yeah.
And then they had another weapon. The guy has like a staff weapon. Looks like a staff weapon, but it's got a laser thing on it. And that's the main weapon that they carried. What do they call them? There's another one I can't remember the name.
Shocker.
Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of stuff you got to remember.
I get that because there's like a lot of stuff within like
Dude,
the story that you're just probably just like,
about
what the freak?
You're talking about like 12 years worth of stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot. But when you say
I
this
think-
and
I
you
th-
describe Stargate,
It's like
to
that
me,
game?
to me, I think of Destiny 2.
Really?
It's the same shit. Like you say, like staves and like different weapons and stuff. Like all that stuff is in that game. So they
Like,
might
look at
have just said,
like,
you know
look
what?
at look at
Let's
these-
make this into a game, and that's what
Yeah.
it is. Really, that's what it is. It's exactly the same shit. They even have like races like you're talking about that like goes against humans, and like they have a robotic human race. They call it the Exos, where they replicate somebody's consciousness and put it inside of a biomechanical organism, and it's alive like a human, but it's a robot. But they have a consciousness of a human, and they keep resetting themselves, and their name is how many times they've been reset to take away their
sheesh.
consciousness.
Oh, wow.
So if someone is like called I don't know, they call him Philip 23. He's been reset 23 times to get rid of his previous consciousness.
That's funny because
Right?
That's funny because the first time they introduced the replicators making their own like human form,
Yeah.
they called them by numbers.
You see what I mean? It's like exactly the same shit. They have a race. They have a race in Destiny 2.
And number 5,
Yeah.
was one that had more human emotions than the other ones did.
That's crazy. See, like
He
there's
was
the race.
broken.
You were
They
talking
said-
about the
They said
goal, right?
Yeah, well, that's different. No, that was
No, but you're talking about the goal, right? Like,
Yeah,
like
that
they
was a
take
symbiote,
over
yeah.
a host, right?
yeah.
That's the same thing, the exact same premise, almost like, but it may is a little bit different, but the exact same premise as like the race that they have in the game that's called the Hive. So what the Hive does is they have like these worms, right?
That's what it is. It's like a snake.
It's a worm, and it's inside all the creatures, and how they get more powerful is this is trippy, but it's cool. It's probably the same thing as Stargate, but they have a worm inside them, right?
Mhm.
When you kill them, it comes out, and then there's the worm, and then you got to kill a worm to kill it completely.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order for them to gain strength and get more powerful to eventually become pretty much a god, is they have to keep killing things. The more that they kill, the magic that's imbued in the worm makes them
yeah.
stronger.
Yeah, I would say that's the same concept with them.
But it's kind of similar.
But you know their blood.
Hmm.
Remember the metal I told you that they were mined for and everything like
Yeah.
that. It was Naquita. Their blood is Naquita.
What? They have like
Yes.
metal blood?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
because when they take over a host and everything, the main thing you would know if someone's a host or whatever, they can make their eyes glow.
What?
Yeah,
Like
it goes
Twilight.
You'll see it glow. Yeah.
It's the fluorescence. You won't understand that reference, but it's okay. People who've seen the movie, they'd understand what I'm saying.
I mean, look. I mean, the names that they get.
I wonder there has to be other things that are like the comparisons because it sounds too similar. It's almost the exact same thing. They just played around with a couple of concepts.
Oh, the name of the Japanese god that they use is called Yu. Yeah, YU. You.
You.
Yeah, and Kronos is one of them.
Well, Kronos is part of
Greek.
Greek mythology.
Yeah, he's one of the gods.
He's the original Titan.
Yeah, you got him. He's in there. You got Anubis, which I said. Apophis. That was the biggest main enemy. He was actually Teal'c, which was the alien race that I can't remember what they called him. The ones that carry the symbiotes inside their pouch, their stomach,
The
germ.
ghoul.
No, that's not the Gaul is the actual snake.
Oh.
Yeah.
The people who carry that, like the hosts, are something
no,
different.
not the host. They're different. I mean, it's like almost like a kangaroo does, but they're what are they called?
Mm. It's kind of like how, so what you're saying, like it's kind of a relationship between a termite and like what's actually inside the termite that actually digests the wood. So what do you mean? Like they hold the parasite, but then
Yes.
what's inside them actually gives them the energy or whatever. But anyway, so like there's a lot of things that are similar within that game to Stargate. I'm
That
telling
that
you.
is weird.
Like
That is weird.
it's kind of weird, right? Because they have they have one thing in there that I think is
So,
pretty close to what you were saying earlier about how like they had all the technology
Charity and
and all
Stargate.
that stuff. So there's certain races that whenever it's called the traveler, right? It's apparently like the god in the game.
Yeah.
And whenever it visits a planet, it creates life and then also gives them technology. Like they start imbuing whatever gift was given to them into like, technological advancements and stuff like that. But every time it leaves, it's a collapse. And then that civilization gets collapsed and they lose that technology. But there's a race that has always been existent throughout time, before and after and current, and they call them the Vex. And
Well,
they
that's like almost like them, the ancients and
yeah,
Stargate.
but the difference is that they don't have a consciousness.
I got the name.
What?
The now the soldiers, the foot soldiers that the Gaul have,
Mm,
that they what it looks like, it's like an X, and
yeah.
what they do is the Gaul actually make like a pouch for them,
Hmm.
and it's like, and then once they have this pouch though, they have to have a Gaul in there or they'll die. They'll die. They have
Oh,
to have it. So they always have to have a non-mature Gaul in them in order for them to live. But they can live to like 400 years,
that's the
500
same
years
thing.
old.
That's the same thing I was just talking to
But
you
they
about.
but
It's the
the
same thing.
but they were called, the soldiers were called Jaffa.
Oh, Jafar.
Yes, they are the Jaffa, the ones that carried the symbiotes. And the one Jafar, he actually joins SG-1. He's part of the team to fight against the Gaul, because he knows they're not the false gods, they're not real
Mm.
gods. And then he has one of his teachers called Braytek. See, I can remember
Wait,
names
wait,
and
wait, wait.
stuff.
What'd you say?
Braytek.
Braytech.
Yeah.
That's in Destiny 2.
Get out of
I
here.
shit you not. You know what? You know what Braytech is? You know what Braytech is?
No, who is he?
It's a company. It's a company that's named after a guy that's called Clovis Bray, and he's the one that started the Exos.
Wow. Well,
Braytech. That's in Destiny 2.
That's
I want
crazy.
to little. We got to play a little game here because I want to see how similar Stargate is or how similar Destiny 2 is to Stargate. Like let's see.
I want
You
to.
say a concept, and I'm gonna tell you if it's in the game to some degree.
I want if the person that's actually made that game is actually a fan.
To me, that's
Must
what
be.
it sounds like. No.
Yeah. Well, Braytek, let me tell you who he is. He's a Jaffa,
Yeah.
and he used to be the number one of Anubis,
Yes.
and he taught Teal'c, which is with Stargate, and
Mhm.
he always believed that they were false gods. So he trained him and taught him, that one day you might have to. There's somebody's gonna come along. It was like prophesized. They got prophecy, just like everything. And he was actually well known as one of the toughest soldiers, but he taught a lot of soldiers, Jafar, and that's who he was. And then he wound up, helping, the human race and teaming up with them. And
So Braytech thought there was false gods and that
yes,
there should be a change,
yes,
and then he.
he found proof. I don't know how they didn't really explain it, but he was the first Jafar to believe that the Gaul
Did he
were not
believe that he
gods.
was God?
No,
No.
no,
Okay, well
never.
that's kind of similar storyline when it comes to like the Braytech that's in Destiny 2.
No.
Because he said that there was false, like all these like powers in the universe, they're false gods. So he created technology to go against it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to know. I want to know, like you name a concept or something that's in there, and I want to see if there's anything
No, you
similar in
need to tell
Destiny
me.
2.
I can tell you.
Well, okay, that's probably
We can go.
fair. Let's see. So there's a as far as the weaponry goes, there's a lot of similarities. I can tell you that right now. Because
they have a weapon that I want.
what
That's real
what
in Stargate,
what.
and it's P90.
Okay, but that's not like crazy. That's not crazy
Well, the
concept.
gun. Well, if you want to say alien weapons, yeah, it's crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
alien weapons is different. Like so far, we have pyramid ships. We have Braytech. I don't know. That's random too. By the way, that's just a random thing you said that I was just like, wait a minute.
Let me show you what they look like.
Braytech.
Yeah,
Wait, what looks like?
this ship. I'm gonna
What, the pyramid ship?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Hold on.
Well, yeah. Wait till you say. Look, I'll show you real quick because like you'll probably before you show me, I want to see something. Pyramid ship.
Pyramid ships on Stargate SG-1.
Siri's gonna remember that now. She's gonna stalk you. No, wait, because when I show you, you're gonna be like, nah. You're gonna be like, no. You're gonna be like, nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You're lying.
Oh,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing, and they're both black too. That's so funny.
That one's actually from the movie. Wait,
That it's the same thing, by the way.
no, but it's they're a little bit different in the show.
So is there? I guess So in with the hive, right? I was explaining to you the ones with the worms and stuff like that. In Stargate, is there like a realm or like a transcendent realm that they can go to? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Is there like a realm, like outside of like a normal universe and space, but doesn't really quite like mean like heaven or something like that? It's like
Yes.
so let me
Yes. That's where the
like a transcendent plane.
Yes.
Like they create their own like plane, but it's still within
Well,
existence.
they don't
outside of existence. Does that make sense?
Well, it is. That's what they're talking about. That's the ultimate goal of a human or any race of alien is to ascend
Well, no, I guess
to
that's not what
another
I'm
realm.
asking.
Yes, but you could see the
Well, so what happens in D2? The hive, they have like these gods, and these gods they have what they call a transcendent plane. So it's a plane of existence that is created themselves. They create this plane that only they can get killed in it only in that plane of existence. But it's an existence that's within another existence, right? So you have your normal universe, but they have another universe that's created within their mind that's transcended and is another universe
Yes.
within a universe.
yes,
Yeah, so
Same.
that's what's in there.
yes.
It's more difficult than that,
It's
but
a-
like
it-
that's the
well,
basis.
I know
of
what you
it,
I know
you know
what
what
you
I mean?
mean. It goes a little bit more depth to that. That's why I'm saying like it's just it is kind of hard.
It's
to
a
explain.
great, but like
Yeah,
you can explain it, but it takes like a lot of like backstory and stuff like that. But
yeah.
so they have that.
Well,
That's crazy.
one of the characters that are on the team, he actually becomes an ascendant being.
What?
Yeah, he comes back. You could see with the ascendant beings, if they want, they could become human form again if they want.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll lose the memory of what they were.
The more you've explained Stargate, the more that I think you would actually like the game.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same shit.
Uh,
Like a little bit different, right? They have like their own concepts naturally, but like there's a lot of similarities. The Braytech one is kind of wild though.
because
No, that one was crazy because there's a guy that's like, Clovis Bray is his name, and he has a company, and then he made Braytech, and then all this other stuff, and there's a lot that goes into with that. And he like that's weird. That's like you guys got that from that. Like, there's no way they just said Clovis Braytech. They didn't just think about that. It had to have come from there.
they got a guy named Tilk in there.
No, but they got a guy named Toland.
That sounds familiar. There is a guy in there called Tolan. There is.
There's no
That's
way.
the alien race that. Yes, that is his name.
Really?
I swear to God. You remember the alien race I told you that had the wristbands that would go into like
That's what
they
they
could
were
go through that?
called?
No. Yes, that's what the alien race is called. The Tolans. Yes. Yes. Watch. I'm gonna show you.
No.
I swear to God.
Dude,
You
wait.
just made me remember.
What, dude? Look at that. You see that? Look, you might be able to remember all the lore just from Destiny 2 itself. They got you covered. That's funny. That is so funny. They have a so the big main bad of across the series is called the Witness. Is there anything in the show called the Witness?
No.
Well, you know what it is. So the boss is like, well, the the enemy, the big bad of the whole universe, is is a culmination of a whole entire race of species into one being.
What?
Yeah, like it's like they all came together into one consciousness, and then through that they became powerful, and they all exist as one. It's a series of consciousness into one. So all that power into one being that can transform into pretty much anything.
They're not showing all of them. That's not all.
But is there anything like that in there where the race of being is just one person or one being? I wonder. Hmm?
No.
No? Damn. So Stargate didn't get that cool.
Well, they got. Well, I mean, they got some stuff in there. You'd be like, "What the heck?"
I think
That's the other one I was telling you. The Galul. They also have another race, the same. They're the
like the
same,
same.
but they're supposed to be good. They're called the Tok'ra.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Hive also have a good side. So that's funny. They also have a good side too. The more I think about it, I'm probably gonna go on Twitter and ask.
What about Unis?
I'm gonna ask the director of Bungie, the one who did, like who's in charge of Bungie right now, or the creative studio. I'm gonna be like, how heavily of an influence was Stargate on your game?
It has to be
Because there's
way too
way
many
too many
similarities.
similarities. Way too many for them to just be a coincidence. Like, yeah, there's not really much
They,
you can do with space games and stuff like that, but like still too similar. The Braytech shit, that tripped me up because you said that. And I was just like,
what?
what? Because I've heard that because I played the game and I know the lore. So I'm like, Braytech, what the fuck are you talking about? And then the pyramid ship, they look the same. They look exactly the same. They're both black.
They got like ships they call Alkesh, and it's like a bomber, and it's kind of shaped like almost like a pyramid, but not really steep. But it's kind of weird.
It's kind of like stacked up.
Yeah, let me see.
They
They're not showing that
the only difference
tolling,
between
they're
the
not
only
showing.
difference between I say the game and Stargate is that in the game you play at well you're human or well there's three different races you can play as, but they all come from human. Like they're all human to some degree. Like they have the awoken that are dead humans that have been ascended into like a different it's probably I'm probably getting that wrong, but they are human, but they have like these glowing skin. Like something happened to them, and it like created a whole new
Is that how
race
they
of
spell it right
humans.
here?
Toland. Is that what it's? That's how it's spelled.
No, it's Tollan. Tolan. No
Okay,
D
so it's missing an L.
and a D.
That's
There's no
funny.
D. Yeah.
But so they have like three different races. They have the Exos, which is the humanoid robots. The Awoken, which is pretty much like humans that got awoken into a new like body, and then they have like this glowing skin, but they're still human. And then there's the normal humans, but the only difference between that and Stargate is that the humans that you play as, that you are, all the three different races can become guardians, which they get these powers, which you know, you played the game. They get these powers, like different elements and stuff like that, to fight against the darkness, which is
The Gaul.
like the opposite of what you're fighting
Yeah.
for. But all these other factions that's in the game and stuff like that just have a lot of inspiration from Stargate. That I can tell you.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I didn't even thought about it that way, that they could have an inspiration like that. But yeah, it's pretty much Space Target, not Space Target. It's like it's Stargate. That's what it is.
Dude, they had some
It's
weird,
Stargate, bro.
they have some weird stuff. Even in Stargate Alliance, they even go beyond.
You know, guess what? They have a fucking city that floats too in Destiny. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They have one. They have a city that floats.
Well, wait, listen to this though.
Hmm.
They have like one of the most powerful weapons that they have, the ancients had, that that's actually on the ships. The ships you actually steer with your kind of like with your mind.
Yeah.
And you have to have the gene the like only certain humans have the passed down gene of of the ancients, and that's the only people that can operate their equipment. So like another race will try to use their equipment, they can't. They have to actually
Huh.
be an ancient. And the thing is that one of their weapons they had, all it does is it looks like a head with like tentacles or whatever, but it's stiff.
What?
And then when it's activated, it looks like alive, like thing. And it's like, dude, it's like really powerful.
What the frick?
Yeah, it's weird.
So kind of like Lovecraftian type
Well,
of thing.
they had what was it? Was it Anubis? I think it was Anubis, yeah, because they want to kill Earth because we started all this trouble. So they want to kill us, right? So we actually have a place in that was in Antarctica. There's a weapon, an ancient weapon that has those things in there, those weapons. And General Neil, he so called, he's the main character, whatever in the story. He has the ancient gene, Go figure.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought?
The plot armor is insane with that
You know,
one.
he actually gets downloaded a depository of information in his mind from the ancients, and it winds up making him. Yeah, it's weird. He does it twice in the show. He does it twice in the show.
I don't get that. That's
That's
plot armor.
He actually goes there and he operates this weapon and it freaking destroys the whole freaking fleet. They had, I think it was like 5 motherships and then the super mothership of Anubis.
That's not
And
OP
he-
at all.
And he just destroys them all with that weapon. That's how powerful it was. And then he winds up, this is weird because he winds up getting ascended again.
Did he get sent to? Never mind.
It's before he gets ascended, you go to this like
a plane,
plane,
like
and
the
then,
mid ground,
and then you go to the other place,
right?
And it's weird. It's just weird.
I like those.
No,
concepts
the concept is cool, but it's just weird.
I like how, and I'm glad we started talking about it because then that the game that I'm playing, like Destiny 2, it makes me like think about the story more, and the more you think about it, it's actually
shaking our background. Everybody can think we're having an earthquake.
Oh no, this will be all right. Freaking, it's so cool because there's some concepts in there that you're like, damn, that's so freaking cool. Like, there's like certain powers that you have that like that you were gonna find this cool. This is like recently introduced. It's so freaking cool. So what it does is like your character has this power where they can pretty much grab time and space, like the fabric of reality. The fabric of reality that everything's made up of, grab it, create like green strands, like it's reality itself, and then make it a weapon. And then use it to like throw it at people and shit like that. So you're literally bending reality as it stands, grabbing the strands of reality and then just using it against enemies. When they introduced that, I was just like, that's so freaking cool, dude. Like everyone who's playing the game's like, oh yeah, it's cool. I was like, no, but if you think about it, bro, like that's fucking sick. Like you're grabbing strands of reality.
It just reminded me of a word. What about Harcesis?
What is that? What is Harcesius?
Harcesius is an actual being, a human, that has all the knowledge of the Gaul, but not a Gaul in him. He's called a Harcesis.
What the okay, well that's
the only way they have a Harcesis and it was banned for a Gaul to do that because if they catch you, they kill you.
What
is if a female was taken over a Gaul because Gauls didn't have no sex.
Yeah.
So if a Gaul actually went inside of a human woman and then another one went in a human male and then they had a baby together, it was called a Harcesis, and it would have all the knowledge of the Gaul inside the human,
but with no Gaul.
Yes,
that's cool.
And they said that's forbidden. You can't have that. So that actually happens in the show.
Yeah.
And he actually to give a little backstory to it, the woman that actually had the baby was actually one of the teammates from the movie. You would understand is that he fell in love with a native at that planet that they went to, and it was his wife. and she got taken away by Apophis, and he made it her his wife, you know,
Yeah.
and he had a kid with her, and that was his goal. He wanted to live forever without being a Gaul. So that's what his plan was to have a Harcesis, and they took it away. They took the baby away, and they got grown up by an ascended being. She took care of him and teach them the good way and all that stuff. And he actually goes to Daniel and actually makes him dream. Like he makes his weapon to protect the planet and everything like that. And he's trying to show him that it's not good to have all this knowledge of the Gaul because they're evil. And it showed that when he wanted doing it was like he taught him a lesson.
Right.
Yeah. That was before he became an ascended being.
I wonder if they have stuff like that in Stargate.
What?
What I was just talking about, like grabbing strands of time in space.
Well, there was something that's happened. There's something that is similar to that. That's what the ascended beings could do.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Just think about that, though. Like you're just literally like
the ascended beings they don't have a form. They're actually energy.
Well, I'm saying like just think about that, right? You're standing here or you're sitting here, and you just go like this, and then you just pull, and then you're pulling existence out of its place. It stays there. Like this whole entire thing is still here, but I'm grabbing
something else from another dimension.
Something like some dimensional energy that's within time and space itself, and grabbing it out and just being like, I'm gonna throw this shit as a grenade. Like it's just cool.
Well, that's how they made the ZPMs.
Yeah, that's
out
so
of
cool.
Another dimension. That's how
that's
cool. How they made the power.
Like, there's other concepts in there that it's just like
they even had other like Nackwater is like. The way they make power is like, and they make like a generator like probably like this big, and it could.
That's why I like it could space shit.
It could power like probably a whole city. This one little tiny generator.
Yeah, that's why I like the space shit because they have like these like, even though it probably never be a thing, it's so cool. You're talking about like powering a city and shit like that. Well, guess what? There's shit that's probably like this that can destroy a universe like a galaxy in that game.
Yeah, that's what he almost
like this did. Like this small,
yeah,
and it's like so dense, and it's like so powerful they can just universe is gone.
Wait a minute, he does
not universe but a galaxy. It's just like galactical destruction.
He does. He destroys a galaxy
with what?
Trying to make a ZPM.
Oh yeah, the thing you were talking about, like the battery and stuff.
It's not a battery, but
well, yeah, but like the energy.
Well, that city has 3 of them that supplies all the energy. The whole city could be supplied most of it for just one, but they had 3 of them because it also could fly. It could, warp into space. Yeah, and then it has a shield like a protective shield.
Damn, what the fucking water bottle do to you?
Right?
Damn, man.
It also had like a shield that could protect itself. And then they wound up stealing some of them from the replicators because dude, it's freaking crazy, dude. I mean, some of the stuff, the ideas they come up with is like, I wish that show never ended, man.
Well, no, it continues. It's in a video game now.
Yeah, but they're always talking about bringing it back.
Yeah,
but they never do.
No, why? We can't. Not today, at least. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, but they finally got
movies aren't the same.
They finally got. Yeah, but this is a show.
Yeah, but shows either. Shows aren't the same today anymore either.
But at the end of Stargate SG-1, they actually freaking finally get all the technology needed from the Asgards because they were a dying race, and they gave all the information to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the same lasers that they had because the Asgards were really they were probably the second most powerful race, besides the Ancients. They were probably the second. Then I would say the first was the Ancients. I don't know, the Asgard and the Nox. They were kind of probably tied for second, and then the Furlings. I don't know. They didn't really talk too much about them. They were ugly anyway. They were like giant hamsters or something like that. They were kind of retarded looking. I'm glad they didn't get too much depth into them.
They end up being like the most powerful race.
No, but they were powerful, but they were real.
But were they very loving too?
No, they didn't really go too much detail into them. They only met him one time, I think.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
But but see that's like showing how man really is even here today. You know, we just destroy things ourselves.
So you're telling me that if we try hard enough, we can pull fabric of time in our hands?
I don't know.
I want to fucking do that. Yeah, I want to do that. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're messing with me." 1 second. And just throw shit at them like from space continuum.
And the freaking replicators were freaking wild too. At first, they weren't like humanoid when they first discovered the replicators. There was this one robot that was a human form, and then she would make like bugs, like spiders and bugs.
That would infect everything else. And then
But they replicate. That's the thing. That's why they were called replicators. They grab all freaking metal, whatever, any natural resource, so they could make
themselves.
Yeah, and then the Asgards had a really good alloy that was better than anybody else's, and that's why they would go after that. That's why the Asgards were fighting for so long, because they couldn't defeat them. It's hard to defeat them.
Tell me what you think about this, right? So there's a race in Destiny 2. It's called the Vex, and they're robots as well, like kind of robotic in nature. They're like biomechanical because they have some type of like life energy, but they have no consciousness. They exist future, present, past, and beyond.
Wow. It's a little extreme.
So, yes. Now, it gets more difficult too, because they have their own dimensional plane as well. This is why when you ask somebody to like play the game, they'll be like, okay, yeah, and then you tell them to like read the lore, they're just like, what the fuck is happening? They exist in all these presence of time. They have their own dimension, and they run multiple simulations of that dimension. So not only do they have one dimension, technically they have an infinite number of dimensional planes across future, past, and present that all exist within one plane.
Wow.
When they explain that in the game, and you think about it, you're just like,
yeah, but they don't have a consciousness. So how do they even?
That's my point. That they have a common goal to be the only thing that exists in the universe, and yet they can't.
Well, that's what the replicators were.
It doesn't make sense.
They just want to replicate, and that's it.
It's not that it's more like it doesn't. Not that it doesn't make sense. It's like I don't think they explore it enough, because like they can explain that in some way somehow, but it's just weird. Like past, present, future, infinite number of dimensional like futures, past, present, and stuff like that, and yet it all exists in one time.
You know how they beat them though?
What?
The replicators. It was kind of weird. Every time they beat an enemy, some new enemy comes. A new enemy comes. First it was the Galul, then it was the replicators, and then it was the Ori. The Ori, I think they were the most powerful one. But what they did was they used a weapon that General O'Neill made when he got downloaded the information in his mind from the ancients. It was a what do they call it? Disruptor? Yeah, disruptor.
Disruptors.
Yeah, no, it was a weapon. One weapon.
Oh, a weapon.
And what it would do is it would disrupt the connection of all the blocks, the building blocks of the replicators.
So it would pretty much like
almost kind of like a sonic wave or something, some kind of wavelength or something that actually disrupt the connection of all the blocks of the,
like all the nano blocks.
And there was one that actually made a replicated.
Wait, the weapon was called the Disruptor, right?
Yeah.
There's a weapon in Destiny called a Disruptor.
Yeah.
And it does the same thing.
So they had this other replicator that actually tricked us to find a way how to beat it. So she does, but then you could change the frequency so it would change if you want, but then they adapt to it. That's another thing. You could kill them and stuff. The only thing it was weird. The only thing that they could never beat, not the humanoid ones, but the bug ones, was regular projectile weapons that we had. That's the only ones that they couldn't beat. Like laser guns and everything, they would shoot at them and blow them up. But after you hit them a few times, they'll absorb it and they'll adapt to it, and you can't do it no more. So with that disruptor, the same thing happened. She made it so they get immune to it. So what they did was they grabbed every Stargate in the whole entire universe and made it all dial at one time. And then they send the disruptor with this weapon that they found, and it sent it all out to all of them to kill them all at one time.
What?
Yeah, it was weird.
That's cool though.
Yeah, and then
So they kind of did like a
the same thing happened to the freaking the Ori. They made a weapon that. Oh, listen.
wait. When did Stargate come out? I want to know this.
Your sister was a year old when it came out, so 98, 99, somewhere around there, 98, 99.
Stargate copied off of Halo.
Oh, Halo wasn't out then, was it?
Halo was out before that.
No, the movie was out before that. The movie was
well, that's particular scene that you just described.
what?
Maybe it was before Halo. I don't know. But you just described them using all the the time gates, like all of the Stargates, and then using a weapon to just out the universe to get rid of that like particular thing.
Yeah.
Halo has the Halo rings. It's a weapon, and what it does is that it's kind of like that. It's around the whole entire known universe, and they activate it, and it just disperses. What I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think it was like 1992. No, I'm lying. Halo 1 release date. Let me see. I'm a fake fan for this. It came out in. Okay, I'm stupid. So the initial release date was 2001. So never mind. I lied.
They got it from Stargate.
They got it from Stargate. But yeah, that's what happens. It you know what's funny? Halo and Destiny 2 are both games made by the same developer. So they're Stargate fans. They're Stargate fans. They like Stargate then, I guess, because that scene that you just described is exactly what that pretty much what that weapon does in Halo.
And they teamed up with the Gaul because they were on the downfall already. So
and in Halo they team up with the Covenant.
No,
to get rid of it.
He teamed up with the Gaul to destroy them.
Ew. Because they're the same. No, Bungie's a fan of Stargate. I'm convinced. I'm gonna put it out somewhere, and I'm gonna go on Reddit, and I'm gonna start a thread. I'm gonna be like, Bungie are Stargate fans, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't now. When you say that, the fact that both of these games draw concepts from Stargate, no, they're fans. They have to be. Or maybe some of them worked on Stargate.
Maybe, I don't know.
Who knows? That would be funny. I'd be like,
dude, have you seen the show, especially Teal, his personality and everything? They kind of stole it a little bit off of Star Trek. You know how, Spock, emotional, and
like
stuff
emotionless, like he doesn't have any emotion.
He's kind of almost like the same way.
That's funny.
They even did like it was kind of retarded, but it was kind of funny in a sense. They kind of made like an episode like this guy was crazy. They try to make it like he's crazy, and then he made like another show like Stargate. It was called The Extreme Wormhole or something like that. It had all the characters and everything, but it was kind of funny. It was like Stargate into Stargate,
That's a trip.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like an alternate reality, like Stargate. They're making a show out of it, but in real life, it really exists.
It's so stupid. Like a show within a show.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
that's funny.
Good. And he was part of an alien race too, that they fought against the Gaul and they lost, and they escaped.
What the freak?
Yeah,
that's funny.
And then there's even with the the guy that plays the Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know where he got started from, right?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. You know where he got started from?
Stargate.
Stargate Atlantis.
Of course. Oh, it is Stargate Atlantis. Oh my god.
Yes, that's where he started from, and he was part of an alien race that were like strong soldiers, but they got taken over.
Yeah.
On the Wraith.
What's that actor called? The black guy.
Which black guy?
The black guy with like the symbol on his head.
Yeah, that's the guy that played Teal.
Yeah. Dude.
Kristen Judd.
That guy, he's in God of War.
Yes, I know.
The God of War games.
Yep.
That guy's a good actor.
He is a good
He's
actor.
a good voice actor too. Don't get me wrong, but like they use actually like face capture and stuff for.
Well, he's a
He's
big
a
dude
good
too. He's
actor.
6'2",
Yeah, he's
200
fucking
Yeah,
huge,
he's a big
man.
guy.
He's
Yeah.
a big dude. Playing that game because I know who he is because I've seen Stargate. I didn't like watch everything to like know about it, but I've seen it. I'm like, that's the guy from Stargate. Has to be. It's cool.
Nah, he's good at
He's a good
the show.
actor.
He's good at the show, but it's funny because he's got no emotion and shit.
He plays someone that does like the same thing. Kratos, it doesn't really have emotion. Doesn't really show emotion. So maybe he's just good at like not having emotion. Maybe that's how he is in real life. You think?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
You think he's just like
But at one time, eventually, when they as the series got on, they got him to when they didn't want to go off world and work it or whatever, they let him have a life outside the base and everything, and then he would get an apartment and everything like that, and he would do stuff like, like people would pick on people and he would just jack them up.
what the fuck?
Like the one guy, he like took off with a girl's purse and he grabs like a fruit or something like that, and he's like way over there, and he just flings it and freaking hits the guy in the back of the head, and he falls down. And I was like, "Get the hell out of here!"
The freak? That's funny. What the frick? I now that you talked about it, I'm actually kind of glad that you talked about it because like now when I'm playing the games, I'm gonna see things and I'll be like, I wonder if this is in Stargate.
Well, they have this one alien race. They're crystals, and they can actually replicate people
Crystals.
like crystals. You know what a crystal looks like?
Yeah, no, remind
well-
me. What's a crystal?
Well, that's what it is. They're like crystals, all right. And then if somebody touches them or stays in front of them, they can visually look at you and then make another form of you. But they can't stay like that forever. Yeah, they do it to Jack O'Neill.
So what do they look like? They just look like crystals?
Yep,
What's that?
that's it. And they were they can't be near people because they can kill you because they're like they got like electric force and then they're crystallized, and then they just stay on this planet, and then I don't know, they just made him. They want to see what the human race is about because the last time they experienced another life form was the Gaul, of course. They freaking zapped them. They killed some of them with their staff weapons.
What the frick?
Yeah.
So they're crystals.
Yeah,
And
it
they
was so,
can
dude. It was like,
transform to
dude,
shit.
it was even Stargate Atlantis. It was even weirder. They had a life form that would look like fog, and it was a life form.
Fog.
Fog, yeah,
Just
Yeah.
like bathroom fog.
yeah.
So next
Exactly.
time you go take a shower, remember that's a fucking being.
Yes.
There's a being there. When it's foggy outside, they're onto you. They're following you.
Yeah, they even had bad guys like humans that wanted to steal. It was weird that they had this one episode they would steal technology from other planets and stuff like that. But that's what they had. They didn't want to steal technology from people. They would trade. They want to trade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be respectful. But this other outfit, they would steal it, and they were humans too, just like us from our planet. And they actually stole this one device that actually changed weather, just by moving the symbol and stuff. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They'd be like,
I want to make it rain. I want
Let's
to make a
make
storm.
let's make it snow outside.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then when they took it from that planet, it was going to destroy it because it needed that to keep the planet the way it was. That's what that thing was there for.
What the frick? Could they make like
Yeah.
earthquakes and shit with that?
Everything.
Everything? Like anything?
Anything weather
Like a tsunami or
anything. Yeah.
That's kind of broken, don't you think?
Yeah.
They'd be like,
no, but you have to know how to use it. And the only guy that knew how
with
to do
all
it,
technology, you have to know how to use it. But I'm saying like that, it's kind of broken though.
I don't know.
That's kind of like ridiculous.
It was only made for that area. It wasn't made for ours though. But
well,
you can
then
use it.
again, there are other things in Stargate that's a lot more broken than that. Like
Yeah.
you just shoot something at someone and then just like they disappear.
Well, that's the third time. You can shoot him 3 times though.
Oh yeah, you can shoot them 3 times.
It was kind of weird because they'll show like, oh wait, we're gonna put this body. Oh, let's just shoot him again.
of
Make him disappear.
They're like, oh wait, that's right. What?
But you could be shot by it, get stunned.
So what if you're already dead?
What do you mean?
What if you're already dead and they shoot you? Do you have to shoot you 3 times again?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never seen that happen.
you,
I've never seen that
you know what
happen.
I mean? They're
Yeah.
just like, oh, well, he's already dead. How do we get rid of this? And we're like, one, two, three, he's gone.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
What?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. That's just how that weapon worked. I mean, they had other weapons.
That doesn't sound like a very practical weapon.
Oh, they had this one episode. This is freaking annoyed here. Is that this one girl? She was doing experiments using. It wasn't their equipment. It was actually made by the ancients, and they got a hold of the technology, and they were experimenting with it, and it would change your DNA and everything. Yeah, and they had this one. Well, these one creatures that were actually they were the deformity and all that stuff. They look retarded looking and everything. But she was tricking them like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you better and everything." But they
Right.
had abilities like, kinetic abilities, read minds. They had like special powers, but they were like deformed though. So she was tricking them like I was helping them, but she was experimenting on. And then when there was one side effect of the machine when she was doing it. After a while, they would look normal, and they think they're getting better and everything. They would just disintegrate to water. Yeah, it was freaking crazy, dude. It was like the guy.
You imagine you're sitting there just like, oh, dude, I'm finally normal again. Yeah.
No,
And then,
no, well, no, they actually would get sick though. It wasn't like that.
okay, I was about to say,
The guy would be like, he'd be like spazzing out, be like, and he'd be like gargling water and stuff, and all of a sudden he'd be like, and all of a sudden, poof, all water. That's it.
okay, I was about to say, he's thinking about just like, oh my
No.
God, I'm finally normal. And then you just like turn into water.
No.
That it's so funny. They're like, I'm a boy again. And they're just
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Bye. That's funny. For a second, they experienced being normal. Then they went back to Igor, then turned into water. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I'm telling you, man, there's some stuff I can't remember everything, man. But
What the heck can you? It's like 12 years worth of shit.
I mean, there's some episodes. It's like some of them were kind of stupid. And you just skip over them. But
Like
some,
fillers.
yeah, they're kind of like.
Well, every show has fillers, though.
But there's some episodes. It's like, what? Who the hell would think about that crap?
I don't know. Someone was.
Especially with the Wraith, with the Atlantis. They figure, and they freaking just suck the life. And dude, it shows it too. They get all freaking wrinkly and everything. Like they just suck the life for it.
That's so
Right out of
cool.
here. Actually, I know where they got
That's pretty
that
cool, though.
concept.
Where?
Well, me and my your sister's favorite show. I mean, movie of not favorite, but one of the one of our
Dark Crystal.
yes, the Dark Crystal.
Oh my God, dude!
They
That's
suck
yeah. I'm telling you, I don't care. I've watched the movie. I just cheap.
I like it because it's all Muppets.
I can't
But
stand it. It's so bad. It's so
but
bad.
you never watched Stargate. I'm telling you.
No, I haven't. I probably should. Now that there's so many concepts that are literally the
But you
exact
got.
same.
But if you want to get the whole grasp of it, you have to watch it from the beginning. You just can't.
we get really. I
Mm.
thought you know what I was thinking. I think I should reverse. I should watch the last episode, then go to the first one. Then I
No.
really understand it.
Well, you can watch Stargate all by Atlantis by itself. You can if you want.
No, I'm talking about the show. Yeah, of course I would have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, this is like one scene because they always have some dickhead from our government or whatever being an asshole or whatever. Well, they have a
Mhm.
senator that wants to get rid of the program.
the
they
Stargate program.
Yeah, so they have this meeting or whatever with other countries and stuff like that. They didn't
Mhm.
know about it, so we need help for money. You
Mhm.
know, these other countries can get involved. So they had this meeting and all this stuff, and they used Thor from the Asgard beings, and they used him for their back pocket because they could teleport anywhere too.
Mhm.
So he's like, it teleports himself right there in the meeting, right? And they're all like with their eyes open, like freaking like giant freaking saucers, And then the guy's like, "Well, Thor," and he goes, "No, supreme leader of the Asgards." It's like you better don't know who you talking to, buddy. I can zap you out of existence.
He's like, correction, my friend. This
Dude,
is
and
my
then-
actual name.
and then the noises they use for when they use their beaming and everything is so freaking cool. I can't.
I like the older like sci-fi movies actually. comparison to like what's we have today. Like Stargate was cool, Star Wars was cool, like all this other, like older stuff was cool. Like
Yeah, but no, but now they have the technology got out there is what they could do. Because if you watch the early ones
mhm,
and the DVDs that I got, they kind of like fixed them a little bit, but they didn't have the film quality and the technology when it first came out.
mhm. They could make it a lot better,
Way better,
way better than what it was.
way better.
It's still good though because it's nostalgic.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I like
well,
what I
what it is the characters.
yeah
Is they make the show who it is. Like you said, you seen him in another show.
yeah
The guy that plays Teal'c in Stargate. Like, where are you gonna find another guy like that, or the guy that played Jack O'Neill,
yeah.
which was he's originally his original show, which a lot of people ain't gonna know. My generation, it will. MacGyver.
Oh, I know MacGyver.
Yeah, he's the guy from MacGyver.
Huh.
Yeah, and then you got what's her name? I know her last name.
Ah.
Oh, it's called. Her name is Amanda Tapping. She's the one that plays the.
What a name,
Yeah, Amanda. That's a real name though.
Amanda Tapping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
That's so. What a name.
Well, she's a beautiful woman too. And then you had the guy that played the doc. He was like he ain't a real doctor, but in
In the
archaeology.
show.
No, in archaeology he was. I'm saying like the characters.
Yeah.
She was uh, a major in the Air Force. General Neal, he was a Colonel Neal. I mean, he was a colonel in the Air Force, and then you had Teal'c, which he was an alien, and then you had Daniel Jackson, which he was the one that actually showed him how to use Stargate.
Yeah.
He's the one that had a crazy concept, thinking that the pyramids were landing zones for spaceships, and they thought he was crazy.
It turned out to be right.
Yeah. And then the only reason why he joined the team, he forced himself on the team just because he said, I got to get my wife. They stole my wife. So all this time they're going through all these planets or whatever. He's hoping to find his wife,
Mm.
and they find ways how to get rid of the Gaul out of the people. The Asgards could do it, and then there was the Tok'ra. They know how to do it. They surgically remove them and stuff like that.
Mm.
And the Tok'ra were good. They would actually the human has to agree with them to blend together, and then they could switch. The human could talk, and then the Gaul they didn't consider themselves Gaul. If you call them Gaul, they get mad. But the Tok'ra or whatever, and then they wind up finding their queen.
So there's the Tok'ra is like it's the guy is the Gaul, but
Yeah.
they're like the good
version.
versions,
Yeah.
and instead of them being like completely taking over their host,
They share.
share.
Yes.
So they have like a good
a
symbiotic relationship.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then they get all the benefits. The human gets all the benefits, live for so long, and they don't use the sarcophagus that heals. And that was that they actually had a special episode on that too. How, of course, it was the freaking ancients that are the ones that invented it.
Of course, as per usual.
Yeah, but that when you use that technology, it makes you changes your personality and everything. It makes you get like changes your personality, makes you evil.
So when
That's
so
why
they just say no, fuck that. I ain't
yeah,
using
that's
that
why.
shit.
Yeah, that's why they don't want to use it. So they do live like maybe 1,000 years or so, or longer.
I don't blame them.
But the Gauls, they've been around for centuries. That's what I'm saying. They keep living on and on and on, and then they'll eventually switch over to another host, and and they use the sarcophagus just to keep that human form that they like. They want to keep it living longer. They want to stay in the human voice. They used to use this other alien races called the Udas before they used humans, and they lived naturally long as it was, and then but they were some like reptile looking being, you know what I'm saying? But they were really strong and everything. And they actually stopped using them because they used humans, and then they used them for everything. Once they found the human race and everything, they used them for
You know what's
everything.
sad about that though? The Stargate is that yeah, if they remade all of it today, it would look better, but would it be better? Because look at Star Wars, right? The OG Star Wars, it looks like shit. It looks like shit. But it was great, and it was way better than the prequels. The prequels weren't bad. They had a lot better like
Oh, you're talking
animation and
about
stuff like the
you're talking
first three
about
movies
you're talking
technically.
about the first.
Yeah, that came back like with
Yeah,
the
but some of the CGI was early technology, and you could tell it looked fake.
yeah, but in comparison to what it was in
But it wasn't
Empire
bad.
Strikes Back and
Oh
New
yeah.
Hope and stuff like that, it was way better, but it wasn't better because it was the quality.
Oh, the acting. But no, I like
Yeah,
those
it was
first
way
three. Those
better.
first three
No,
are
they
the
weren't
best.
bad. The prequels weren't bad.
I mean,
They weren't bad, but they
especially
weren't good. They weren't good. They weren't bad, but they weren't good. They were just movies to me. I enjoy them
I
now
like
because
them.
they're like nostalgic, but
I
like
like them.
they're
Now
not
the
they're not
last
too
new ones
good.
that they
The
made,
last new ones are kind of shit. Gotta be honest.
the graphics and everything was
Graphics are
good. Some
better.
characters were good, but some of them were like, what?
The lightsaber battles in the new ones are fucking pitiful. They're so bad. They're just like
But I
in the
know.
old ones, dude.
I don't know.
It was insane.
Yeah, but did you see the one? Did you see the Kenobi one?
well, versus Vader versus Anakin.
No. Of course, that
Oh, you're
scene
talking about in
was,
the show, like the newer show, like
yeah, the one that
the
came.
Vader show.
It's not Vader. It's
That was Kenobi, Obi
yeah,
Wan
it's
Kenobi,
yeah.
the show. Yeah, no,
That was a good
was
freaking
good,
fighting scene.
but that's the extent.
But the best lightsaber battle ever of all time was in episode 3.
yes, that was
That was
sick.
epic.
And everybody agrees that was a 10
Dude.
minutes, and no one really realized how
felt
long
like a
that
long,
is.
yeah.
That
But it
was
felt
a
longer.
10-minute fight scene,
Yes.
and that was the
Epic.
coolest fight scene in Star Wars history. That
Nah,
was
I'm
epic.
thinking. I'm just picturing in my mind. when they're
Yeah,
like,
you could the whole entire fight
Ah,
scene you can see in
it's
your head, and it's
it's
so good.
epic.
That's the Baguettes. That's the best fight scene in Star Wars history. Was that scene right there? That's why people are like, yeah, the prequels aren't that bad because it was really
But
good.
did you ever see that one that someone remade the scene from the original one
Which
from
original?
the first Star Wars?
Empire
Wars.
Strikes Back.
No, Star Wars. Someone remade the fighting scene with Obi-Wan Kenobi when he's old.
With Vader.
Yes.
When
That-
uh,
they should
which movie was that?
the first one.
No.
Yes. Yes, the first Star Wars.
The
Not-
first Star
well, it's gonna
Wars.
be
What was it called? Episode.
No,
It was
Star
episode
Wars. It's
6,
called
right?
Star Wars.
What-
Episode. Oh, I mean,
It wasn't called Star Wars.
yes, it was.
No, it was not. Star
Put
Wars
money on it?
what?
Star Wars.
Yeah, I'll put money on it.
Oh, Star Wars. New Hope. New Hope. My bad.
That's what I said. It has a
Okay, my
name.
bad.
Yeah,
New Hope. Well, the New
You
Hope
want to
one.
bet it's Star Wars? Yeah, they're all fucking Star Wars. They all that's all their names. What do you mean?
Well, the original one, the first
yeah,
one
it's
they
New
made.
Hope. So yeah, New Hope. That they
Well,
made that scene with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You
and
never
Vader.
seen it?
No.
Oh man, dude, they should freaking digitally remaster it and put that in there because
Well, I mean,
that's the way it should have been.
now with AI, you should see some of the stuff they're doing with AI. They can do that.
They could probably remake the whole freaking damn thing and make
They
other
can.
things in there.
No, they definitely can. But the AI
You can
now
still-
is kind of
but
crazy.
You can still tell it's fake though.
What are you gonna do? You can't do it in real life. There's no such thing as lightsabers that are single-handedly on their own. You can't really remake the movie and make it real as possible. I mean, they have a real lightsaber,
Well,
but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not like
It's a
that.
proto saber
Yeah, it's not
because
like
they have to
that.
have a backpack to use it. But I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
it's Star Wars accurate. Actually, that's how the first lightsabers used to look like. They used to have backpacks and go like this and have
we'll
the
see,
blade
man.
charged.
Maybe that'll eventually come out.
Hey, Hacksmith, the guy that made it, they're trying to.
I know.
They're trying to make it without like
no,
nothing.
they
just
do. He did. He
Mm.
did make one.
No, I'm talking
Without
about
the backpack.
standalone.
Yes, he
With
did.
Just,
he made
just
one.
like this, just like holding it.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He's working on it. He's working on it.
Look
He
it up.
hasn't made it yet though.
Yeah, look it up.
I will. I'll look it up because I want to know. Because at that, I'm putting my name.
But
down
it
on the
don't.
list.
But it don't look like a lifesaver though.
That's what I'm saying.
This looks like a giant torch.
Which is. That's what I'm saying. He's trying to build that. He's
I
trying
know.
to make an actual lightsaber that works off
That'd be
plasma.
awesome.
That would
That'd be
be sick.
awesome.
Yeah, I would.
It'd be sick.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. I would want one.
I would want one too. Are you kidding me? I would want one. Absolutely. I'll be like, come into my house. I dare you. Yeah. How sick would that be? if someone invaded your home, right, and it's like three
What are you
o'clock
gonna
in the
do with
morning.
that? Come over here,
At
find
three
out.
3 o'clock in the no, you don't even have to say nothing. 3 o'clock in the morning, dude, and it's dark as shit in the house. He comes in, he's like being sneaky. He's like, dude, I'm about to steal this guy's fucking TV. You come out of the dark, like he still can't see you, right? All you see is just a light, and he's just like, I'm fucking dead. Oh man, I would have a red lightsaber. I would.
You want to be the dark side?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, if someone comes to my house that's over, I'll be like, join the power of the dark side. Sitting in the dark.
I would have purple one. I want to be both worlds.
Oh my God. You want to be Samuel L. Jackson?
He's not the only one that had lightsabers like that.
He's the only one in Star Wars that has a purple lightsaber. Yes.
And yeah, but
he's the only one in Star Wars.
No, in the
of all Star Wars, he's the only one with a purple saber.
No, there's other books and everything. He's not the only one.
He's the only one. I'm telling you, he's the only one with a purple lightsaber.
No,
even in the stories, yes, he's the only one.
This is not highliner. There only could be one.
What? I'm telling you, he's the only one that has a purple saber.
Well,
yeah,
I would want a purple lightsaber.
Okay, well then you're Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, I'm gonna be black.
All right, there you go. See, dude, I'll tell you what, cosmic. No, never. I'm not gonna.
Well, who's your favorite character in Star Wars?
My favorite. What? My favorite character in Star Wars? Yeah. Darth Revan. You probably don't even know who that is.
No, I know what he is, but
actually no. It's a tie. I think it's him or Nihilus. Because Darth Nihilus was so powerful on the dark side. This is how you see I want to be on the dark side. He was so powerful that he sucked the life force out of a whole entire planet.
What?
Yeah. That's how powerful he was. I don't know
that much.
But because he did that, he disappeared.
Stuff like that. I don't know that much.
But because he did that, he disappeared.
But I'm talking about without going deep into the books
in the movies.
I'm talking about the movies. Because I don't know that realm. I never got into
that. If you're talking about like the movies, my favorite character. Damn, that's a hard one.
Mine's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's hard.
Especially after seeing the
how can I pick
episode 1, 2, and 3, that made me my favorite one.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Because when I think about the movie, I'm gonna think about what they are outside of the movie.
Nah, you don't need to. You need to
I do because like I can't. Based on just the movie, probably none of them. Now, if it was the movie,
I don't know, because did you ever see them interview the guy that plays Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah,
where he had this one, almost had this one accident with someone, and they said,
I see. I know what you're talking about.
He's like, oh shit, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't mess with him.
He's like, oh shit, that's Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi.
Oh yeah, with his accent.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. No, if I would have to pick a favorite character out of the whole Star Wars franchise, movie based alone,
I got two, but my favorite ultimate is Obi-Wan.
Probably Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn, really?
I think so. Because he's the only one out of everybody that understood what it meant that Anakin was the one.
He was the one, but he was brought up wrong.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't brought up wrong. He was right. He was meant to go to the dark side. He brought balance to the Force. Because who killed Palpatine? Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He brought balance to the Force.
Yeah.
So he was always meant to be on the dark side. He was the chosen one. But there was a delay in time. So Qui-Gon Jinn was the only one that actually understood why. And that's why Obi-Wan Kenobi was his trainer, because he knew that Obi-Wan Kenobi couldn't fulfill him being on the good side. That he was going to get too close, and then it was going to get all frustrated, and he was going to go on the dark side.
I think if Qui-Gon was still alive, I think the outcome would have been totally different.
No, I don't think so. I think it would have been the same.
Yeah,
because the way that he talked and stuff like that, he knew. He's the only one. Even Yoda didn't understand. So Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's probably my favorite character as far as the movies go. And if it's not him, it has to be the guy that was the master of Anakin when they went down to Tatooine. The alien dude, the blue dude.
What blue dude?
The blue dude that owned him and his mother.
Oh, you talking about that freaking ugly
Yeah, the
looking creature?
alien. That guy is funny as hell. Are you kidding me? I love that character.
So, you know what he sounds like?
I love that
He
guy.
sounds like that secretary on freaking Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
The guy,
Mike Wazowski, always watching.
That's
No,
true.
I
I didn't
love
even think
that
about that
character.
till you
No, that
said
character.
that.
He's probably the same voice actor. That
Maybe.
character is funny. Like aside from Qui-Gon Jinn, they would be him second for sure, 100%.
I thought you.
I
Liked,
hate
I thought you liked the other one
which one?
that nobody cared about. Jar Jar Binks.
I fucking hate Jar Jar Binks.
That was like the.
I hate him so much, dude. You know what? And unfortunately, the people who made Star Wars, I don't know who said it, but someone in Star Wars admitted it. And it was been a theory for such a long time that Jar Jar Binks was a Sith Lord. And they said, yes, he was meant to be a Sith Lord. I swear on my life, if I would have ever seen Jar Jar Binks pull out a fucking red lightsaber and be like, Misa going to kill you all, I would be like, movie is not funny. This is terrible. This is the worst thing that happened. Like, you imagine? Can you take that?
I don't know,
an enemy like that seriously?
Did you ever? But you ever see that meme they made it with what's the name that played the hero of the new films? What's her name?
Ray.
Ray. Yeah, they made a meme about her that I have all the when Palpatine said I got all the Sith in me, and then she's got all the Jedi, and then they cut her off, and they're like, nope, you're the worst character ever made. Jar Jar Binks was better afterthought than you were. You never see that meme?
I think I have. I have. But that's actually, you know what? Jar Jar Binks is a better character than her. Yeah. Because she just, it's not that even like.
I don't think she's a bad character.
No,
I
it's
think
not
the
that.
concept of how they portrayed her, but with all this stuff
No,
going
it wasn't
on.
even just that. I think it's the way how it was rushed, dude. Like, they could have took their time to make the story and been like, oh yeah, like absolutely, like yeah, that's cool. Like a Palpatine had like a child somewhere, whatever. What have you like? It could have been cool, but the way they did it was stupid, like very dumb. You made her like the most powerful Jedi we've seen on film.
She's not though.
In like no, I know she's not, but on film, like power, like wise, on film, she was the most powerful. On film,
Still,
yes.
no.
There's no one else on film that did what she did. None.
No.
Who?
Luke is the most powerful Jedi.
No, he's not.
On the film, yes, he is.
How?
Did he freaking transport himself into another across the galaxy and form himself in front of somebody? She didn't do that.
No.
And he could do a lot more. The reason why he didn't.
He can. He can, and
he's
still
what
can.
I call a bitch.
Mm-mm.
That's the only why.
They made him that way, though.
Yeah, but guess what? He got it from his dad.
Well, okay. Well, what I was saying is that
Because
they could have made her good. They could have made her better.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes,
like
way
it
better,
wasn't.
way better.
I didn't complain about.
They should have made. I would say they should have made a better backstory.
They're like, hey, you're just hating on it because it's a woman. No, I don't care. I'm glad that it's a woman Jedi because we don't ever see that. I don't care about that. That's not the problem. The problem is that the way you introduced it
I think the
was so dumb. Like, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's a nobody. She actually has parents. Wait, but they don't exist. And then, oh, well, surprised. It's actually
wait a minute.
Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah, I know.
And Palpatine survived when Vader threw him off and is on a planet that is the Sith home planet that has ships waiting for centuries with armies that are just apparently don't die. And then we have to destroy the navigation system that allows them to stay on the planet and doesn't tell them where up is.
I know. What the frig, dude? I know. There's some gay stuff in there.
What? That's what I'm saying is like the next three movies was rushed and they didn't take the time to actually do like concepts into it. If they did and they didn't rush the story, it would have been better than the original. It would have. But they didn't.
Yeah,
they rushed it and they said we want to put this in there because it's so good and like it's not.
They jam packed too much information in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Which they could, like I said, they could have did a better backstory on her.
Way better.
Yeah.
They could have had the first movie focus on her backstory. The next movie focus on actually fighting the Sith.
Wait a minute. What they came up? What was that one that came out before those other ones? It was The Force Awakens, right?
That was
Star
the
Wars,
first movie.
Yeah, the first one.
That was
That
the first
wasn't
one.
too bad.
No, that one wasn't. It wasn't too bad. I think it was stupid because they. Actually, I'm kind of glad, but they killed off. They killed off. What's his name?
Yeah, but that kind of
The one
That
who
was the
Harrison
movie-
Ford plays. I forget his name.
Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo. They killed off Han Solo in the dumbest way.
No, that wasn't in that one.
Yeah.
No, The Force Awakens.
Yeah, the first movie of
Wait.
that trilogy.
Oh no, wait. I'm sorry.
he
No,
dies
no,
in
no.
the
You're
first
right.
one.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
I'm thinking of the wrong one. I'm thinking of not that one. The one before that. They came out with
They didn't come out with a movie.
the Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One. That was before.
Oh,
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That one was good.
That
Yes,
one was
that was
actually
good.
good. That one surprised me. That one was actually really good. I actually enjoyed that one. What movie was it? So let me ask you, what movie was it where they destroyed the Death Star?
The first one, The New Hope.
It happened during New Hope.
No, it happened before.
It happened during New
Before
Hope.
about it.
You want to know why it happens during
Wait,
New Hope?
hold on. Wait.
It doesn't. No,
Wait a
because
minute.
that information, the drive that they stole from that movie,
Was for
happens when Darth Vader in that scene from that movie is trying to get it, and they send it over and they destroyed the
and then the New
Death
Hope
Star.
starts. The movie, The
The
New
Ho-
Hope.
New Hope does not start that way. No, it doesn't.
Oh no,
It happens during all that events
Want me
happen
to pull it
during.
up?
It happens during
Want me to
New
pull it
Hope.
up?
Yes, pull it up. It happens during New Hope. It happens during the movie. Yes.
before it.
No, it does not happen before it.
It's the timeline.
The timeline
when
is
they
in
give
there.
her
It's
they give
current.
that hard drive to her, which is Princess Leia,
Yeah.
at the end of that movie.
Yes. And then what?
So, and then
What's the scene that's in the end of that movie? The scene that happens during New Hope.
are you surreal?
I'm very for real. It happens during. It's not the beginning of any of those movies. It happens during.
That movie that came out is supposed to be the storyline before the New Hope movie came out.
That scene in particular I'm talking to you about happened during the events of New Hope.
And the beginning of the movie.
No, but
And the beginning
it
of the
shows.
movie.
But what happens later
In
on?
the
But
beginning
what
of
happens
the
after
movie.
that scene? It shows you what happened before that, right?
Nope.
It doesn't go continue straight on
Nope.
from that scene. No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
I'm telling you. It
The
doesn't.
the,
I'm
the
telling
two
you it doesn't.
droids,
No way.
3PO and CPO, go down to the desert.
Hold on. What? Who and what?
CP3TO, whatever. RTD2.
R2D2 and
Yeah,
CP3.
Yeah, I know. I said
C3PO.
C3PO
Yeah.
twice.
Wow. I
Wow.
was like, who are they?
Who are they?
Who is CP and CP2 Patel?
I know, right?
What
What the heck was that?
what's that?
Well, the two when they got sent down to the desert, that there you go, and then they go find freaking Luke with all that. That's where the movie goes. There's no other scenes.
I don't think so.
Well, you need to watch them.
Maybe it's been a while, but I don't think so. That's not how I remember.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. When this goes on, they're gonna say, "Yep. Now that was it." You'll see.
Whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan, to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm really
No,
not.
you're not. I know you're not,
No, I'm not. It's not. It's not.
because they ruined it.
Yeah, they did. They destroyed it. I
Actually,
think I would be
I think-
more
I
inclined to
think the
like it more if
best-
they didn't.
I don't want to give them any credit, but the only thing that
Mandalorian.
yes, that's the only thing that they made it was good.
No, that actually was good. I did enjoy watching Mandalorian. They came out with another one series. It was
Boba Fett.
that was trash. They came out with Ahsoka. That was trash.
I thought that was pretty good.
That was terrible. Then they came out with, because if you know like if you watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is like the cartoon series,
No, I never
it
watched
goes into like the actual Star Wars lore that happened between the first movie and then the third movie.
Yeah.
All the events that happened in between. That's
Well,
the
there's a
Clone
big
Wars.
gap. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Clone Wars. The
Yeah,
Clone, Wars,
Wars is
like
a-
the
it's-
TV show, it goes through all
Yeah,
that
all
stuff.
that.
With all the movies and all that, it goes through
Yeah.
all of it. And the way that they portrayed Ahsoka in the show, terrible. Because if you know what happens in like the cartoon show and shit like that, you'd be like, oh, well, what the heck? It's stupid. And then they have another one.
She's supposed to be a really powerful Jedi, and they
Well-
made it kind of weak in there. I think.
Yeah. What's the new one that came out? There was a new Star Wars show that came out.
it's
They canceled
trash.
it. They
Yeah, 'cause
canceled it
was
recently.
trash,
It was
like the beyond trash. I didn't watch it.
Dude, it was really bad. I
I
was
didn't
like,
watch it.
what is that? You know, because I heard a clip about it and then I seen
I heard how bad it was.
the
and I
one of the
didn't bother.
scenes. I'll tell you how it goes. It's one of the scenes.
I don't
It's a scene of like And again, I don't have a problem with them like depicting women as powerful and things. I really don't. I don't care. But the way that they did it, they made it silly. It was a whole bunch of women and they're sitting in a circle and they're like doing like this little chant thing and they're like, the power of one, the power of many. And they kept doing that over and over. I was just like, this is not
What is this,
intense.
witchcraft?
I was like, this is not in any way intense at all. They did something similar to this in like in a WandaVision, which is like TV show for Wanda and Vision. They did something similar to that with like the Salem witch trials or all the different witches and stuff like that. Because you know Scarlet Witch is a
Yeah.
and they did like a similar like scene to like this Star Wars scene. It was badass. There's nothing but women. I was like, dude, this is done right. This is pretty cool because they were trying to like banish like one of the witches and something like that and do some like crazy shit. I'm like, why can't they do something like that? They're like, the power of what? The power of many. It was so stupid. And that's just to name one of the crappiest scenes that are in there. But like, they canceled the show now. I wonder why. So bad.
Oh yeah, I seen a lot of people complain about it. I didn't even bother watching.
I think Disney just ruins anything it touches. They're trying to buy Sega. Imagine.
Well, Walt Disney, the actual creator, is probably turning his grave.
He's like, no.
It's pretty bad.
Nah, but that's a little. But whatever. I mean,
somebody needs to go in there and do a clean sweep whole entire
no,
staff.
they just need to make good movies. Really, honestly, they need to make good shows. You know, like Stargate can come back, Star Wars can come back. All these good shows from back then.
Well, you know who
bought
bought the rights to them, and they were talking about they were going to do it, and they didn't do it. It was Amazon.
What, to Stargate?
Yeah, they have the rights. They were going to make a show.
Why don't they?
I don't know. It was all planned out. They were going to do it, and then they stopped.
That would be cool. Like a revamp.
Yeah,
Stargate,
they
huh?
did some kind of show. I don't remember what it was, but it was supposed to be before they started the Stargate program. It was when they found the Stargate and all that. It was a little boring, a little bit, but I thought they were doing that to show that, and then they were going to start a new show or something. I don't know, but it was good.
Probably.
No, it wasn't. I watched it. It wasn't good.
It was like terrible. It was fucking.
It wasn't terrible. It was just like you thought it was for a point, and it never was. Everybody thought they were doing that series for a point, and they were going to do something
point.
else. No point.
Just to.
Just to do it. Yeah, it was.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think?
Call it like break, and then when do
Break. Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Are you kidding me?
7.
Yeah. Someone's got sleep to get. No, I'm playing. I'm not gonna get sleep. But what are you thinking?
What?
That was a lot of Stargate.
Well, that wasn't Stargate.
I'm not complaining about it. We learned a lot about it. But that it has a lot of similarities out there.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you're talking about.
I mean, but that's
over
like
10 years worth of information.
we're talking about like
They
a
got
dedicated Stargate series. That's what that is.
They got like 270 some episodes.
270 episodes. You want me to watch all that?
Yeah, I watched all that. I watched it many a time.
No, I'm saying you're telling me you want me to watch all that. That's a lot.
Hey, you don't need to see it all at once.
An episode today is half my year gone. It's true. It's 270 episodes. It's a lot.
I know it is.
What the heck?
Well, you watch like 3 or 4 a day or something. I don't know.
Damn. But I think that's
maybe
a good,
more. Maybe
I think
more.
that's a good. I think that's a good stopping point, though. Before we start talking more about Stargate.
Yeah, there was some other things we were supposed to talk about. And I forgot
Yeah,
what they
well, it
were.
was. It was the thing that I was going to talk about, but we can say that for another episode. Yeah, ain't no way. They just going to be the same thing as this. It's going to take like fucking centuries to even explain the beginning of it. It's the same thing. That's another topic that we can have, though. That's going to be great, though, because that I'm excited to talk to you about because it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
What was it?
SCPs.
Oh, I see.
And we're going to save that one because those are that's something that I follow regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you would like it. It's weird, but it's cool.
That's weird, but cool.
Yeah, it's weird but cool. It's kind of like Star. No, it's not. It's not even anywhere near Stargate, but it's like different. It's earthly.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah, it's earthly.
Is it like
Cosmic earthly.
Is it like something like Stranger Things?
You know, funnily enough, kind of, but not really.
Did you watch that?
I don't like it.
Oh my god,
I hated
I
it.
love it.
Stranger Things.
Fuck yeah.
I hated that show.
It's because it's around my era too, the 80s.
Yeah, you know what? And on that note, I think we're good. I think we're good because on that note, no, that's
what it's supposed to take place in.
No, and that's the conclusion. That's
Of
the
the
conclusion
conclusion
of
of
this
this
episode.
episode.
That's the conclusion because we're not getting into that. The 80s is the best era. No. Mm-mm.
For music, it is. 80s and 90s. So I would say 70s, 80s, and 90s. You had everything. When rap was good too.
Unbelievable.